They're taking on Geelong. And that's all happening here at the MCG tonight. That should be an absolute cracker of a game. Looking forward to this game. Of course, Geelong going in at favourites tonight at 168, and the Magpies are the outsiders at 215. We've got about 7 to 8 minutes before the first ball is bounced, and we're going to get underway. Here are the lineups for the teams here, as you can see on score. Let me just bring this back a little bit. Let me just try and get that a little bit more in so everyone can see the game. Here, let me try and just move that and get that back around a little bit better for everyone. I think that's looking a little bit better. Right. Let me just tilt this a fraction. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, there we go. We've got 7 minutes to go before kickoff time. We have there the team lineups as we are having a look at. Of course, the ins for Collingwood tonight. We got John Noble. Be a good inclusion for the Pies off the back line. We've got Jamie Allett, little star forward, of course, coming back in after injury, both of those players. And Reef McInnes comes in for the Pies. Omitted is Charlie Dean, Jeremy Howe injured, and Brody Mychek injured, as we saw last week in that game. But I'll just put that up a little bit more, and you can see the teams. We've got Maynard, Moore, Quaynor for the backs for Collingwood, with the half-backs of Noble, Markov, Will Hoskin, Elliott. Side bottom, Pendlebury, Dacos. That's Josh. In the centres, we've got Bobby Hill, Kruger, Schultz in the half-forward for the Pies. Long, Lipinski, Elliott in the forwards. The followers are Cameron DeGoey and Nick Dacos. Of course, the interchanges there. Frampton, Crisp, McGuinness, Richards, Harvey, Harrison, and the emergencies are Finley McRae, who I believe is the sub, Lockie Sullivan, Ash Johnson. For the Cats, up the back line, we've got Henry, DeGoing, and Kolodziński, Duncan Stewart, Guthrie, the halfback, centre, Tui, Holmes, Dempsey, Stengel, Gary Rowan, and Myers are half forwards. The forwards, Main, Neil, Jeremy Cameron, the big gun forward up there, Blickvars, Dangerfield and Atkins there, the followers, with the interchanges of Bowles, Close, Humphreys, Clark, Oliver Henry. And the emergencies there, Abuse, Knivet, Stanley, Fortnite Kid, Joel. What's happening? What's going on? How you going? How you going? So there we go. It's a big game for both clubs tonight. And of course, Geelong coming off 2 wins. Of course, they had a strong win against Hawthorn last week by about 51 points down at the Cattery. And of course, the Magpies were a 2-goal. They failed to Essendon last week. So Essendon beat Collingwood last week by 2 goals. But they're both vying for their positions on the ladder. Of course, Geelong are sitting 5th on the ladder on 40 points, 3 games off top, and Collingwood sitting 9th on the ladder. Only by percentage they're out. But they're struggling. They need to win tonight. They've got a tough road ahead within the next 6 weeks. So they really need to bring their A game here if they want to topple the Cats, who are in fine form. Potato Lord, I don't want Collingwood to win because I'm Essendon. Oh, you would have been happy last week then. You would have been happy last week with Essendon beating Collingwood by 2 goals there. Of course, Essendon are going well. They've won 2 out of their last 3. There we go. Geelong have won 3 out of their last 5. Collingwood have won 2 out of their last 5. Although, you know what, although I'm a Collingwood supporter, I am predicting Geelong by 34 points tonight. I think their form is going well. They're starting to come good at the second half of the season. Everything is working their way quite nicely. So we will see. We will see what happens. I tell you what, you just never know in the game of Aussie rules football. Who's going to win? Who brings their A game? Who jumps out of the boxes early? That being said, the Pies jumped out, I think, early last week, but couldn't sustain that. They did look a little bit tired in that game last week, whereas Geelong just looked like a powerhouse from the bounce last week. So they're going to be in for a good game. As I said, we've got a big out there of Jeremy Howe, their backman, and of course their up forward Brody Myercheck, who was injured with a pec muscle, I believe. There's no ins, no outs for the Catters. It looks like they've gone in unchanged. Yeah, I was happy when we won against Collingwood because my mum is cocky about footy and thought Collingwood was gonna win. It is like that. It is like that. You know, when you've got a team that are just on fire and they're consistently winning all the time. You know, their supporters, they're just up and about, and you think to yourself, you just like to quieten them down a bit. So. It would have been a little bit quieter in the household with Mum and Collingwood not winning last week, and of course, especially if you're Essendon and their potato lord, you would have been a very happy camper. Of course, Essendon are going pretty well at the moment. They're sitting fourth on the ladder, equal with Fremantle, only half a game from second from Carlton. The only thing with Essendon is they've got a low percentage of 99.9%. So they need to lift their game. They got Melbourne this week, Essendon. So that is going to be an interesting game. Melbourne actually played pretty good last week. So we'll see what happens there when the Bombers come out to play. We have a little bit of a look. When do the Bombers play? The Bombers play tomorrow night at the MCG against Melbourne. So that will be a fantastic game. But I think tonight we're going to have an absolute cracker of a game tonight. Collingwood versus Geelong. As I said, it is 5th v 9 tonight. Geelong 5th, Collingwood 9th. A couple of good sides there. Of course, Collingwood a little bit undermanned there. A few of their good players out. But that being said, their AFL players, they need to lift. And they need to pick up their game. But from what I've seen of Geelong in the past couple of weeks, they are, well, let's just say they are on fire. All right, the captains are in the middle of the ground. The coin's about to be tossed. We'll let you know who wins the toss there. And it looks like Geelong has won the toss. They're going to kick left of screen on the TV if anyone's watching the TV coverage of this game. But it's going to be a good game here tonight. As I said, the Geelong Cats versus the Magpies. It's going to be a ring-a-ding-ding game. And we're going to put it over to the commentary within a minute, and we'll let the commentators take this game away so you can hear the play-by-play ball. And it should be a ripper. Starting soon the game, the toss has been tossed and won. Geelong won the toss. Players are getting into position. Let me have a look. This is still, and there are the odds for tonight. Collingwood go in as underdogs at 2.15. And of course the Cats are favourites to win at 168. Let me just try and reload this, see if the worm comes up. There is the worm. That's what we like to see. Quarter by quarter the worm, so we will see who goes in front, who goes behind. Of course, if the line comes down to your team's direction, that means you are leading. If it goes into the others, that means the other team are leading. We're going to have a cracker game on tonight. So don't forget, put your tips in on the poll. I've set the poll up there. Who's going to win the game tonight? But here we go. We're underway. Here's the bounce. Good luck, both teams.
Stewart, body lining the footy. Atkins comes in. Back to DeConing. Gets it to half forward. Myers has got to make Noble earn it. He did. How's the umpire seeing this goal? They play on. Manor with a flying shot. The Cats have got the first.
.44 seconds in, and the Cats go 1 goal up.
Pies defensive group have got to regroup.
Hey, Jocelyn, how you going? Good afternoon. Mega love shout out. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the thumbs up.
Fast
Appreciate
start
that.
for the Cats. Did that slip high? It wasn't paid. It was paid holding the ball and then man up. We've had a great game defensively last week. Just plays on and drills it. He knew straight off the boot that that was going through. A good start for Geelong.
Back in the middle, umpire Brendan Hosking. DeConing went early, still got good review, good contact. Dangerfield streaming out of the middle. Low ball inside 50. Here come the Cats. 2 goals in a minute. Hit it out the back. Neil's got it for Geelong. Two in a minute. The Cats, we know they're heavy scorers. Sensational start. See there the experience from Dangerfield, just holding Pendlebury off. He's knowing where the ball's
Are you watching the game? Yeah, I'm watching the game here.
Over the years,
That's a cracker.
He's got grass in front of him.
Quick starts to the Catters, not what the Pies were looking for.
Week. They had a season high 5
Thanks,
scores from
Jocelyn.
They've started off well tonight. 2 goals in 41 seconds of game time. Couldn't dial up a better start. Cameron DeConing scrapping for a footy that won't come out. That's the great thing about Dangerfield, Hodge. He hasn't lost his burst of speed, and you saw it there against Pendlebury. Off the ground, Dacos. Holmes coming through. How impressive was that? Tumbling ball forward, asking a lot of questions in this defence. Stengel couldn't glove it. Rowan arches the back to Stengel. Looks for something inboard and finds it. Shannon Neal. Well, they're just hunting the ball better early in this game. Only 1 possession for Collingwood in this minute and a half. They're already 9 for Geelong and 6 of them contested, so they're hungry. And they're winning it at ground level. For 3 goals and a dream start. There we are. Got a couple. Shannon Neal goes by the nickname of Scratcher. Rich Owen, my understanding is 90% of the playing group have got no understanding as to why.
I know why, and so do you, Jim.
The great Robert Neal from back in the 70s.
I think you've got to be our age. But you've got to know the club history as well, the great Scratcher Neal. What a fly for him to quick goals.
This is concerning for Collingwood. Just the clearances throughout the middle. They've had 3 zip, continue to get the ball forward, but then from Stengel, he could have had a shot here. Selfless mindset, top of the goal square for Neal to start. Well, he had 2 last week. He started off with 2 early ones tonight.
What about the opportunity here? Their first 5 shots at goal last week, the Cats were all behinds. Their first 3 tonight, all goals. Maynard with a double-handed punch away, but the Cats are going to come again. Myers to Atkins, goes backwards, finds a little bit of time. They reload and go again. Myers straight to Dacos, to Goey, clearing ball. First time they've been over halfway in the game here. The Pies, and Henry just steadies the ship for the Cats.
Going to go forward again though. Tony, the bigger man. Well, the Pies, all of their forwards had pushed up because they had to get some numbers up. Cats had good shape. Dangerfield, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Markov just helps it over the back. Atkins. Cameron. Good piece of shorts. How's this play on, by the way? That's 1.5 meters outside the circle.
Is it because they both had a play on it?
Yes, that's right. Just right.
Yeah.
It was the beautiful moving Pendlebury brings it away. Superbly delivered to Oscar Elliott.
Got nothing though. As I said before, they've had to push up high this Pies forward line.
And Josh Dacos goes to DeGoey. Normally wants to keep the speed on the ball, but as Richo said, there's Not a lot forward of the ball. Long.
They're just recovering a bit of shape there now.
Gives it back to DeGoey. Harrison gets beyond him. Schultz. Duncan.
How's that not in the back? Can't just fall in the middle of someone's back.
Mark, you're up.
Let's have a look at it.
Sam, Darcy. This way.
Never get that one. Surfing him almost. Every throw in. So the Pies just get a little chance here to regroup at their end of the ground. Been a furious Cats opening here. 18-point lead inside the first 3 minutes of the game.
Zach Tui's taking the Tommy Stewart role, just trying to drop off when he can.
Schultz. Pendlebury. Deliberate little ball. Elliott. Lipinski around the corner. Got it to bend it up.
So the sound's just gone off at the moment there on screen. So Lipinski for Collingwood snags a goal. First one for the Pies. Geelong 3 goals, 18. Collingwood 1 goal, 6.
This is really good from Lipinski. He realised that Tui was by himself. He's come back to make him accountable. This ball just goes over the head of Tui. He gets caught going towards the ball. Lipinski peels off, and just a smart little snap across his body. Great forward craft, making your defender accountable and then making him pay.
Good first touch for Elliott. Back into the team too. Really clean.
Necessary answer there for Collingwood. Brilliant from Dacos. Oh, that tackle. We can be careful.
Well up, yours.
Such a physical player, Tommy
Straight
Stewart.
back. Thank you.
Cameron and Blitz halves helped forward by side bottom Holmes. Unable to handle a tough ball. Magpies to half forward. Long and Stewart. Through comes Atkins. Tui. They floated out to Blitz halves. Clark now. And Stengel comes at the kicker.
Patiently waiting. Here's Stengel.
Play on.
Cameron, the intended target almost. He protected the drop zone very well then, Jeremy Cameron. Quite make it work in the end. An opportunity for Richards down low. Lipinski again. Clubbing was noble. Richards to Dacos. Dacos to Long. Dangerfield gets in amongst it and upsets that little rhythm they had going there. And Harrison wraps Dangerfield up in the tackle. You just got to watch it here if you're Cameron. Blitzarfs will have the spread on the stoppage. Handball out the back to Blitzarfs. So after it leaves this initial stoppage, the movement is going to be the problem for Cameron.
Nick Dacos just talking to the umpires. Atkins, every opportunity, he's trying to just allow him to move through the stoppage. They're going to try and put blocks on for him.
Danger busy early. Brilliantly away from that stoppage. Frampton, it gets beyond him. Rowan dangerous in these situations. Close as well. More calmly. Now Noble's got to be clean. Dacos a fend off and gone. Got the kick away nicely. Pendlebury stepping through out in front of Geordie DeGoey. Henry's got to come and meet this ball. Kruger. To centre half forward, Bobby Hill. Wants to go. And he does to Elliott. That's not far enough. Play on. And now gone. Big crowd. I'm not sure Jamie heard it.
Well, it was a horrible decision to probably go there anyway, JB. He was no closer to goal.
And he was on a worse angle. Sees back yourself there, Bobby.
Yeah.
Back in the game though now. They've picked up the tempo of the Pies. They got jumped obviously.
Split sales, didn't know it was for him. Realised once ball was in flight, to cut it off here is Dacos Josh. And Blitzarf's not happy with that, saying we should have taken the short one.
This is a big night for Cameron. First of all, starts with the coning, and then when the coning goes off for a breast, he's got blitz up, so he's just going to try and spread and run him all over the ground.
Right in front of that interchange area here. Cameron with the front spot. Dangerfield, Atkins, nifty little ball to half forward. Good use of the body here from the big fella in Neil. Didn't result in the end. Blitzarf sees it over the line.
That's what they're trying to with Atkins. They're trying to limit Dacos in the stoppage, but Atkins has had 6 touches already. Leads the game.
Dangerfield, 3 clearances already. Bose, cleverly to Clark. High ball here, Neil. Saw it better coming in, but the ball got beyond him, close off the ground. Isaac Quainer couldn't get the kick away.
Great attack by Clark there. 2 or 3 Collingwood blokes coming at him, kept the ball in for a stoppage.
He got booed on ball then, Quainer. He would have been penalised, Nick Dacos. So all of this in Geelong's forward end.
Darcy, Mark.
Coaches with different coaching positions tonight. Craig McCray loving the boundary line coaching position. Myers kept alive by Manor. Bose, new beautiful kick, Rowan. Probably should have taken it to the hands. Made it hard on the chest. Knocked it up though, did well. Great tackle by Schultz. Colin through traffic. Kick needs to be good. It is. Dangerfield keeps it alive. Shrugging the Maynard tackle. Around the corner, he couldn't quite get his steps in line. Manor keeps it alive for the Cats. Looking for their 4th first quarter goal. Noble responds.
Did very well there, Domino. It gets past Tui. Oscar Elliott, goal side. What's he got? Richards. If it sits, he's away. Richards. Yes, please. Yeah, good.
Just what the Pies needed, folks. Just what the Pies needed.
On the big stage, it's a terrific finish.
Some good pressure at half-back from Collingwood. Look, Tui had that covered. He got the bad bounce, but that's a Collingwood goal. They scored from D50. And they've taken this to the end of the ground. I like that. Took the responsibility there, nailed the goal. And he's been good since he came into the team.
Drafted as a 23-year-old. Here he is now playing on the MCG. Perhaps could be excused for thinking he wasn't going to get to this stage. Here he is kicking a very calm and calculated goal. The back is to go. He hard physical body. Pendlebury, beautiful handball. An opportunity for Long. And just a low ball. Drop mark by Kolodesny. Allows a little opportunity. Hoskinelli around. Scores the level. Can you believe it? 3 goals in 2 minutes to start the game. 6 after 14. Wow.
They're coming back good, Ryan. Geelong kicked the first 3 goals
Football, this is just modern footy at its best.
in the first 4 minutes of the game, and since then Collingwood have responded well.
Unbelievable what they can do.
That's impressive.
Momentum swings, BT. Yep. Get them every week, every game.
We've seen this bloke Pendles just get in the right spot at the right time so consistently to go in nice and clean, but it was that handball from Pendlebury which opened the play up. Long got it going forward. Yes, it was a drop mark, but then just a snap on the boot by Hoskin Elliott. Crucial goal. Gets it back into even.
Bose off the ground. That's not going to be far enough. Myers has got to release it. He did. Good clean hands from side bottom. Long back to side bottom. Wider for Harrison. He's not going to keep that in.
BT had a couple of not 15s already. I reckon that might be normally Friday night. You get a little clamp down on something. Keep an eye on those ones tonight.
Okay, we'll do so. Remember, each grass strip is about 10 metres. Frampton in front to Koning at the back, did it well. Got the kick into a really dangerous spot here. Running past it on that occasion was Neil. Moore, the tackle on Clark. Was it high? Umpire just blowing the quick whistle for the ball up.
Yep. Neil, the big roundhouse. Manor trying to barge his way through.
Darcy.
Again, that ball's not coming out of there.
Seeing even numbers at times either end, and not an intercept mark yet in this game.
Stengel. Look out, Brian Myers.
That's really strange. 10 minutes into a game, halfway through a quarter, we haven't seen a mark from the opposition. So both teams have been able to get it to ground and neutralise it.
Oh boy, Quayne has kicked it out of bounds on the full here. Cameron thinks he's got a bit of a mismatch in height there and is asking for it to come in high. Clark goes in there. Off hands have come, still not through. It is now Maynard. It was iffy though. So this time Noble quickly grabbed the kick-in duties here for the Pies.
Pulsating start, Friday night football, another big crowd. Crowds this season have been ridiculously good. Long Noble. Frampton. Interesting place to head the footy. Now they're out. Kruger. Forward handball. Hoskin Elliott. Richards again for his second. Just enough heat from Mitch Duncan.
Yeah, great chase from Duncan there.
They're looking dangerous when it gets to ground level, forward half Collingwood.
Yeah, they are. Those kicks into the corridor, JB, but rather down the line, because teams are zoning down the line. So once you go into the corridor and all the forwards are on the same page, there's more people dropping the ball.
Dempsey, cute little kick back inside the Manor. Manor looking to draw. He was going to give it to Humphreys and elected to kick it himself down the line and find Stengel. Stengel about 60 metres out, as you can see, hugged up against the boundary line there. Sold some foot candy, did it nicely. Little Chislows and out of bounds. No, it'll be paid the mark here for close. Gee, I'm not sure about that.
So what Noble thought was on the full, he turned around and gave a little bit of lip service to the boundary umpire standing right there.
Look at the fans in their background doing their best to put close off, and he's kicked it to the near sides and they enjoy the moment. That's why they pay their money.
You can tell this is a Collingwood home game. The noise is amazing. Side bottom, pressured and turns it over. Stengel wants the speed, and that's a turnover straight back to the man who gave it to him. Now Quayne. Johnny Noble, Maynard.
Would have called that one play on, Richo.
He's been three.
Touch ball. Harrison to Dacos. Into the middle he goes. Pendlebury. Why not? Frampton to go. He wants it. And Hoskin Elliott.
Just great ball movement from Collingwood out the open. It was that kick from Dacos coming into the corridor, and then Pendlebury kept the switch going, which found all the space.
Josh Dacos open in the pocket.
And there still hasn't been an intercept mark from Geelong in their back half. So that's a key for Collingwood tonight. They've got a small forward line. They've only got one tall forward down there. So they've got to limit those intercept marks, get it to ground level where they can have an advantage. change the angles.
For 4 in a row. It's working its way back, but not enough. Easy in the end for Henry.
They're down the line. Straight stuff won't work for the Pies tonight. They've got intercept defenders, the Cats, so they're doing a good job moving forward now.
So you're hitting up every little target that's coming your way tonight.
We're changing angles, and if it is down the line, you just have to somehow get it to ground.
Tui rips a magnificent drop punt into the centre square. Nice floating mark by Neil. Able to play on, and Moore's getting back here to defend Stengel. 3-on-1 it was for the Pies. Mark off Maynard. Been good so far, this guy Harrison. Shane Warne wing. Dynamic forward bound ball. Mark a little lucky, but Kruger's got it to put the Pies in front for the first time in the game.
There you go. They do have to go long that time, and your lone tall forward takes a great contested mark. I love that. I love that work he did early on Henry. That big push off the chest, that gave him the chance. He timed it perfectly.
So he had complete control of it, Richo, but any mark's a good mark.
It's a contested mark, Brian.
Nathan Kruger. 7 goals in the last 4 weeks. That one's a little left. And stay to come back perhaps next week, playing in the VFL this weekend.
Started this game with 6 goals straight. Now we've had 6 behind straight. De Koning to fly. Ground level was close. It's got De Koning for support, running support. Handball really wasn't great for Clark. How good's the hands been offside by the veteran. Into the middle now, Noble. Myers is tracking him down. And the turnover ends up in the hands of Humphreys. Good ball for Rowan.
Oh, they've got it open here.
They have Richo. They can raffle at Holmes. For Cameron. It got beyond him, and Dempsey was unable to hang on.
Just wonder whether there was a handball to Mitch Duncan on the outside there. Jezza left it.
He stitched him. Dempsey thought Jezza, as a forward, would normally go back and take that.
Is that the umpire telling Maynard to face the ball? Knocks it forward. I don't know whether he has any right to do that. It's not touching.
Yeah, I think he's actually given a heads up, because if you're physical against him and you're not watching where the ball is, they can give a free kick. You actually got to be watching the ball contest.
Still not sure he has the right.
It's almost blocking 10 metres off the ball. That's what he's trying to warn
I know it's a
about.
little bit of warning, but I don't know that he's got the right to tell the player what.
He's not touching him, you can't tell him where to stand.
Exactly. There's Dacos, Nick. Second bounce, not good. Sloppy. Humphreys to tidy it up. Pursued here by Richards. Ball ricocheted out in the tackle, says the umpire. Keep going.
Back this way. Back this way, Rosa. Darcy, Shannon.
Dacos again. To Goey. Richards on the wing. Great to see this man back playing football, Johnny Elliott. What a star. Excellent to crisp. Left footer we know. Long ball here for Kruger, and in the end pretty easily defended.
Dynamic game of footy. Both teams absolutely interested in scoring. Holmes. Massive Friday night crowd, and again, as JB said earlier, crowds to AFL games have been unbelievable this year. Henry.
This is where Geelong are being patient. This is what Essendon did to Collingwood last week. They tried to fatigue him by chasing defensively. They're going to try and pierce through and find a gap and go fast.
There you go. Stewart goes for the one in the middle, looking for Cameron. It's a bit of a nil-all ball. The front centre from Holmes to tidy up was nice, and the kick out wide is just as impressive to Duncan.
Beautiful use of Mitch Duncan as a rule. Call to go. In front, Neil. Presented a really nice target, and the squaring ball from close is good to Blitzos.
That was just smart from Blitzarves, just waiting in the corridor. He can run both ways. If Collingwood get it, he can run back defensively. But if Geelong get it, as we see there, he's available for a shot on goal.
One of the great footy stories, Mark Blitzarves. National steeplechaser, Category B. Never had that on track.
How about that? 10 years ago today, the last time this man missed a game of footy. That is consistency. That is surviving, and it was a very, very tense and tough game.
It's unbelievable.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
To not miss a game in 10 years, the physical nature of this game. He's got good genetics, I think, Brian.
Especially the way he plays. He doesn't run on the outside.
Exactly.
243 games. Not all of those with the Pies, of course. Started up in Queensland. Bose. Front on to Markov. Noble. Just under 3 minutes remaining here. Johnny Noble back into the side this week with Elliott and McInnes. McInnes the sub tonight. There's Kruger.
Oscar Elliott. The kicker worked for Jamie Elliott. Next Duncan can't believe it. It faded from the assertive position he had taken. Blood clot in the lower leg, and lots of questions as to how much footy he'd play this year. Jamie Elliott, he's back. Nicely struck, but behind.
Coach McRae there. That shot is always inside left goalpost from that quadrant of the ground. Can't give that right post away. Told to go is Tui. Good mark, Dempsey. Strong mark.
Found a serious player here, the Cats in Dempsey.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to watch Humphries tonight as well, Richo, because I think they've found another one there.
They have.
He looks amazing. Here's Elliott on his return. She's been clean so far. This kick on the way. That's better. Look at that. The left to right bender from Elliott. Four in a row for the Pies. And the man that's been missing a lot of footy gets a lot of love from the teammates.
What a footballer was Jamie Elliott. You forget sometimes when they're absent from the game.
This is what we spoke about before the game. Collingwood and their defensive intensity here. Elliott, he was 50 metres away. He saw, he read the plan. He put his body on the line, brought it to ground, and then the composure. He just had a shot from there. He realised the mistake he made. He angled it out, brought it back, and then went to the crowd. Collingwood hit the front.
Cracking start to this game. Bose floats it to half forward.
There's an intercept.
Side bottom.
Intercept for a side bottom. Geelong have only taken one intercept mark. They average 17, and that is going to be key for the Pies moving forward in the game. If they can keep that low and get around and move the ball like they are, they'll be able to kick a score.
Possession number 11 for Nick Dacos. Was that Quainer? Lipinski brilliant. Elliott just missing with the handball to Harrison.
He's been sharp tonight. Let's have a listen to this.
And when they missed him, He'd love that as well. Great feel. Right into that goal square.
Little standing O there.
100% it was. They know how important he is to that forward line.
It's like a barometer, isn't he, for them?
Oh, who's down to the last half minute here? Geelong have just about decided to put the kill away, or do they go now? Clear run here, they can go. Dangerfield, almost a 50. Cameron in front was Neil. Did it well there, Frampton. Was kick across goal and no time left on the clock. Siren will sound. McRae can't believe it.
There's a stinker chase and tackle. Yeah, good.
Since the start of last year, this man has kicked 43 goals, 12. Here he is from 25, 30 metres out, no further. Pulled that one a little bad. A little short on the kick, and he's disappointed in himself more than anything. What a quarter of football. Remarkable start here for the Cats. 3 in 2 minutes. And then the Pies kick the next 4 to lead by a goal at quarter time.
All right, folks, what a cracking start to the game there. Geelong come out firing with the first 3, and then, of course, the Pies come out with the next 3 to level it up. There we go. So we've had Collingwood lead the first quarter here at the MCG, 4-5-29 to the Cats, 3-5-23. It looked like in that start it was going to be a runaway victory. Well, the Pies looked in trouble. But then again, the Cats were definitely good out of the centre, getting those clearances really quick, fast pace. It's an up and down game. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Not too much congestion. Both backs are doing not too bad, putting a little bit of the pressure on, causing the inaccuracy in some of the kicks there. But that being said, the Collingwood small forward line seem to be troubling the Geelong Cats for their speed in the Collingwood forward line. So we'll see what happens in the second quarter. Let's go and have a look. And let me just reload that and we'll try and get the stats up. Let's go and have a look at the leading possession getter on the ground. And as we can see, Nick Dacos for Collingwood. He's the leading disposal getter here in the first quarter with 11 disposals. He's had 6 kicks, 5 handballs. He's had 1 mark and 3 clearances. He's been pretty much on fire. He's given the Pies plenty of run there and doing well. Maxie Holmes there. And Bowles for Geelong, next best on 8 possessions. Not too bad there from Bowles. 4 kicks, 4 handballs, and 4 clearances, doing well. Side bottom there. He's not going too bad for Collingwood. He needs to just dig in a little bit more, even though he's been in a lot of the play. He needs to show a little bit more grit than his first quarter. His kicks have been a little bit wayward, but that being said, it wasn't a bad quarter by Steele with 5 kicks, 2 marks, 2 handballs, and Johnny Noble back in the side for the Pies. He's been a strong in defence there with 7 disposals, 5 kicks, 2 handballs, 2 marks, 1 clearance. He's been good. Also, DeGoey's been pretty good there for the Pies. He's doing his job well. Will Hoskin-Elliott, he's causing a lot of trouble there for the Catters. Atkins, Stengel with 6 and 5. Tui with 6. Let's run down the board a little bit and see your favourite players' stats. This is the disposals here, folks, if you're keeping up. Good to see Scotty Pendlebury there for the Pies. The captain there, controlling the midfield for the Pies, doing well. He's had 4 kicks. He's had 1 handball. He's had 1 mark. He's had 1 tackle and a clearance, doing well. Sean Manninger here for the Catters with 5 disposals. The first goal scorer of the game. Let's keep going down as this game will get back underway not too far away. It's only a short break in between quarters. We'll try and get through a little bit of these stats for the good folks out there wanting to have a little bit of a look. As we run down the stats there. Maynard 2 for the Pies. Humphreys just 2 and Henry just 2 for the Catters. As we look down the bottom there, a little bit of a surprise there for the Catters. Jeremy Cameron, they're leading forward. 0 possessions so far. He's laid 1 tackle. That is all. Let's just head across to the goal scorers. For those interested in the goal scores, we've got Shannon Neal, the only multiple goal scorer there for the Cats, with 2. We've got Joe Richards for Collingwood with 1. Sean Manga for the Catters with 1. Lipinski, Will Hoskin Elliott, and Jamie Elliott for the Magpies are the other single goal scorers there on the ground. Now for the AFL fantasy points, let's just have a little bit of a look at this. Shannon Neal on 40 for the Catters. He leads away on the fantasy points with Max Holmes 32. Frampton for the Pies 31. Dacos, that's Nick 31. DeGoey 29. Will Hoskin Elliott 28. All right, let's have a look at some of the team stats before we get underway in the second. Disposals, it's a pretty even match, folks, and that's what it looks like at the moment. 91 to 90 disposals. Kicks not too far, the difference with the handballs. Inside 50s, they're both getting plenty of opportunity. 12 to 15, the Cats leading the way there. Their efficiency, pretty much on the year average. And inside 50 average, a little bit better there for the Pies, with 66 and 46 for the Catters. So we just head down to the stoppages. We're about 30 seconds away from the start. Now, Collingwood leading the hitouts 19 to 6. Clearances, the Catters on top in that disposal, and especially with the centre clearances. They've been very strong in that area. Contested possessions, pretty well even all around. The turnovers, Geelong have just had a few more turnovers. Look at the marks there, 24 to 30. Cats leading the way there. Marks inside 50, 5 to 4, pretty similar. Contested marks 1 to Collingwood. Quickly go into the defensive tackles, pretty much the same, 17 to 5 to the Pies leading that one. Tackles inside 50, Geelong have got that. 5 zip to the Pies. The 1 percenters, the Collingwood doing a little bit more of the 1 percenters there, 12 to 5. And there we go. All right, folks, we are back. Let's get on with the game. Good luck, both sides.
Gone to Nick Dacos and done a pretty reasonable job as well. We'll see you at halftime.
Cameron to Koning. Atkins coming off the line. Dangerfield will get a free here for line contact. Quick release. Stewart inside 50. Cameron. Beautiful understanding between the leader and the kicker. On a squeeze of the ball, he normally does, and then run around and try and draw his club level. Has he got the trip? I'm not sure.
Thanks, Sil. Please, behind, check the touch on the goal line, please.
Wow.
Review. Umpire's call is touch.
That's there.
Please confirm the ball is touch.
Review underway.
To our view, that's all good.
It's a goal, JB. It's as clear as you can get it.
Should be pretty quick, this one, you'd think.
That's
Really?
enough there.
Review complete. Looking at these angles, we can see the whole of the ball has crossed the back of the goal line before being touched. Decision on the scoreboard.
Goal to Jesse Cameron. And we are all tied up.
Good example of the goal review working, JB.
Yep, it's cleared. Do it quick.
Yep, and that could have easily gone, in the normal situation, would have been missed, and we would have all been whinging for a full week.
The whole week, all
Yep.
the shows and all
Yep.
the talk back.
Perfect use.
Jezza just giving that hammy a little flick there. Keep an eye on that. Love this from Neil. Have a look at this here. He does the blocking for Jeremy Cameron and then comes around the back, and that's all he needs. Jeremy Cameron's always had pace. Stewart's a beautiful kick, puts it out in front. But take that back, give that as a goal assist to Shannon Neal. Really good stuff between the two key forwards.
And Richo, you just just seeing that Jeremy Cameron, just a little stretch of the hamstring there. We'll keep an eye on him. We think he's okay, but
He did get that grab though, BT, after the goal.
there is DeConey out of the middle. Here they come again. Neil's up there, juggling attempt at mark, taken away by Jezza. Hoskin Elliott. A lot of Collingwood players on the pitch of that handball, not great to Dacos. Chris to try and tidy it up. Risky one back in the middle. DeConing sends it forward bound once again for the Cats. 2-on-1. Works for Markov. Hoskin Elliott kick needs to be perfect. Hill. Dacos keeps it alive and Collingwood gains some good ground there, JB. As we had a boundary throw in.
Schultz needed to touch it, and he did. And that's a good 50, 60 metre gain.
There's Jeremy Cameron there. He really did have to stretch out there for that mark on the lead. And after he kicked it, he just did some stretching and was grabbing at his hammy a little bit.
Chris, taken high was Cameron. Josh Dacos uses his brother. Kruger had access to the ball and made a real meal of it. Schultz. Kolodjasny gets barreled.
High contact.
Free kick.
High contact. He came in late, Patrick. Stand.
You've really got to take marks like that if you're a key forward.
We don't get a lot of chances like that, BT.
There, good calling by the umpires. Very good calling. None of those were the required 15. Moore, juggling attempt, Hoskin Elliott. Taken away by Stengel. Markov under immediate Dempsey pressure. Collingwood got the numbers around. Geelong got the numbers. Tui. Round the corner ball. Won't get Quainer. Tricky bounce. Cameron. The all-in-one handball while in air. Rowan. Beautiful spin. Opportunity for the new big man, Neil.
BT, if I was the other 16 teams watching tonight, you now know that they're going to be red hot on that. Here's Jeremy Cameron. Here he was after kicking that goal, just giving that right hammy a little stretch out. He has had issues before. He stayed out there, so it looks like he feels like he's okay.
Blitz halves now in opposition to Cameron. Maynard hacks it out of there. Almost Lipinski. Off the ground. Hoskin Elliott. Straight to DeConing, who went to ground. Had it spent before he got it, Henry. Tui. They worked their way through some pretty good heat there, the Cats. Jeremy Cameron, the last up. Holding free. There we go. Dacos' way.
Back on, stand. Play on.
Nick Dacos. Stewart, good effort. Kruger, aggressive soccer. George clearing the path nicely for Kolodjasny. Got through them. Stewart's got to keep going straight ahead.
That was excellent from Kolodjasny. Come from the other side of the field, come off Elliott, around 30, 40 metres to make sure that ball didn't go any further. That's why Geelong's defence is so stable.
Maybe wind of Lockie Schultz. He's something more serious. Here is Nick Dacos again. Uses his body to protect the ball and the perfect tackle. What a tackle from Coates. Perfection, and is he done a hamstring here?
Nick Dacos has just grabbed at that left hamstring in that tackle, so we'll keep an eye on it, but I assume he's going to be coming straight to the interchange, which is only a couple of metres away.
No, I reckon he's absolutely done it. He's in pain. That's interesting that he's running on to play. Can't be a cramp at this stage, JB.
Manor a long one. Cameron breaks through the tackle and slots it. Two on the bounce for Jezza. Neil with some issues. Might have caught one in the throat.
This is the Dacos where he's got pinned holding the ball, but the big concern for the Collingwood supporters, that grab right there, the left hamstring.
Strange mechanism though, isn't it?
And this is the one out the back. Cameron, just too big and strong. Snap it over the shoulder.
Gone back in the middle though here, Dacos, so
Must have been a cramp.
gee, it's early to have one, Richo.
For a bloke who runs 15, 18k in a game.
Yeah, highly unusual. We'll find out. Here's Noble, ran into the brick wall, and it's Tom Atkins.
Shannon Neal's gone down to the rooms as well after that knock to the throat, so straight down with the doctor in tow.
Blitz halves. Pendlebury. Blitz halves again.
Same side. Same side.
Pickle juice into him, Brian.
Brian Myers trying to find Manor. Not far enough here, Rowan. Hoisted high. Cameron the hot hand. Pendlebury getting back to help the defence. Maynard a tap on. Josh Dacos. Ball's out.
You can see what Geelong are trying to do. Quainer was on Cameron in case they go up the ground because you can run like a midfielder, but this is what Geelong have just cleared out the space. It's Cameron in the 50 by himself. Geelong trying to get a ball down there just to use his size advantage.
Smack bang in the middle of neutral territory here on the wing.
Cats have got the extra number at these stoppages. Darcy Moore sitting back.
Dacos stretching for that. Looking slightly uneasy, but not too bad. Stewart, Kolajasny, out the back. There is Dacos again. Tries to go back through traffic. Elliott wins the free.
Coming back on. Clear out there, please.
No one on the mark here.
Outside 5.
Josh Dacos.
You go to the mark. You go to the mark.
Nick Dacos wanted it along the boundary.
Still
Geelong have a
still
crowd.
worried by that hammy.
Yeah, he still looks uncomfortable, Richo, doesn't he? It's a big concern for Collingwood. What would be going through Nick Dacos' mind at the moment? That's exactly what Collingwood don't need. Is he out there testing it out?
Well, you wonder how many he's done in his life.
Yeah.
If he hasn't done one, he might not know within himself the extent of whatever damage has been done. Blitz halves. Misses with the handball. Richards goes to work.
With that, he's still grabbing at it, but the movement that he's doing, he's still able to go left, he's still able to go right, he can change directions.
Collingwood hearts in their mouth everywhere. Fans, teammates.
I haven't seen anyone go and ask him yet. Am I missing something here? Has someone been out? Or
It happened right in front of the bench, so you would think if they were worried they would have pulled him straight off, Brian.
There he is, and he might get a free. Probably should have.
You're right, BT. Nobody has gone out to see him as of yet, whether it be a trainer or a physio. So I'm unsure if the bench maybe even saw it happen, even though it was just a few metres in front of them.
He's going to get a free.
so advantage paid here. Richards around the corner, kicks the goal. Geelong players asking the question. Richards gets his second, scores a level here.
Dacos vision once again. You can just see there Brad Coase's right knee just goes back into the hamstring. So it looks as though it is a corky, which is good news if you are a Collingwood fan.
Holding. Collingwood. Dacos. No thanks.
It's going to be a free kick to Nick Dacos. He looks comfortable out there. Long ball forward, Elliott to fly, Lipinski flicking it to Josh Dacos. asking a lot of himself there at the full.
So Tom Atkins has given away 2 free kicks in a row, and straight after that one, he went and had a 10-second conversation with the umpire asking, what he's doing wrong there.
Great news for Nick Dacos. If that's a contact injury, then that's no problem at all, which it appears to be. Here's Duncan. Thought about winding it up the middle. Humphries. Dangerfield. Little high, just let Noble a little opportunity on Clark. And in the end, they force the stoppage here.
That was excellent by Noble, and his teammates are getting around him. That's the stuff that's got them back into the game after a slow start. The desperation acts.
To Goey. Atkins charging through, Bowes the same. Clean hands, Dacos. Cameron.
Dangerfield.
Come back to Dangerfield. That ball's going to take a while to get back to him, so you can see the Pies beyond him are able to set their defensive grid up. Humphries. To Henry. Headed all the way over to the southern side of the ground. The Pies have been able to shift their defence. Duncan normally wants to be adventurous. That's a free kick.
Contact. Geelong. Stairs.
So Dangerfield, can he pick the eyes out of this? Waste no time. Well done, Cameron.
That was good from Cameron. That was also really good from Quainer as well. Jeremy Cameron was going for a run and jump at it. And Quainer just put his body in the road.
It was good by Darcy Moore because he went and picked up De Koning and it allowed Cameron to come off and spoil that ball.
Walsh doing the ruck work here with Cameron. Rose, here's Stengel. Clark confronted by Markov. Rowan trying to keep Humphries alive, kept himself alive in the end. Close, good, dangerous centering ball. Cameron again. Out the side door to Noble, and Plainer's there if he wants. To ground is Harrison. Can they get something going here, Pies? Nick Dacos with the angle kick back inside. To Goey. Turns, goes, long, high ball on the head of Hill. Getting back is Guthrie. The fleet-footed Hill is cornered here by Guthrie. And ran out of room.
Kruger just ran forward. Kruger could have went across and made it a 2v1 to an outnumber. Ran forward and left it a 1v1 to get a stoppage.
Shannon Neal's back on the gates and ready to come back into the action, so that is good news after that knock to the throat.
Thanks, Abby. To Goey. Trying to play for free and quite having nothing to do with it. Markov. Always great pressure from Rowan. Nicely manufactured here, Collingwood. Although that wasn't as good. Close. Tapping it forward into the path of De Goey. What a pick up. How good was that?
Oh, yeah.
And again, it was one-on-one inside forward 50 for Collingwood. They had 3 one-on-ones and they were all separated. So again, no opportunity here for Geelong to intercept mark. They've still only taken 2 for the game. And when you get one-on-ones and you're forward 50 and De Goey's got time and space, she's going to hit the target.
Superb control of the footy off his shoelaces and gives Jamie Elliott this set shot look.
That was magnificent from De Goey, the pick-up, wasn't it? The tap by Crisp was equally as good, but the cleanliness and what separates good players
One touch.
is the one-touch stuff like De Goey just showed.
If you fumble now, one fumble and you're done in this game.
Dempsey to Henry. Ollie Henry, the sub tonight for Geelong. Jack Henry out there. Guthrie. Holmes. Good kick. Dempsey. Can he go? He's got the overlap. Mitch Duncan encourages Dempsey to go. Handball didn't quite connect. Side bottom with an opener through the middle of Lipinski. Crisp had the ball knocked out in the tackle. Cameron gets his body in the way. And eventually the Geelong numbers clean it out with Stewart.
Got a lot of work to do here, side bottom. He's up against about 5 of them. Dempsey did brilliantly well to get it to Dangerfield. Inside go the Cats again. Front and centre close. Dribbles it through. Three goal to 1 quarter. Now, really good finish there from Brad Close.
Really good here from Close. A great kick from Dangerfield into a dangerous spot. And that there from Neil. Gee, that's great work. As a young key forward, he knew he wasn't going to mark it, but Close had time and space on Pendlebury, who was trying to get back and help out on Close. And Neil did that perfectly. So that's 2 things for him tonight. It's created 2 goals where he won't get a stat, Neil.
3 goals to 1 in the quarter for the Cats. Stewart with a little poke by foot. Picked up by Harrison, bit of a sloppy kick. Clark dropped the mark he probably should have taken, mops it up though. Now this kick needs to be good. It's high, Moore with body contact there with Neil. Close to the boundary line, couldn't keep it alive. Tim Horan, of course, here tonight, the former Wallabies captain. Part of the commentary team covering the game tomorrow night. Australia play Wales over at Amy Stadium in the rugby. Great player he was.
Frampton, ground level Dangerfield. And holding the ball. You knew the longer the whistle took to come, the more likely the result was that.
Players are getting so smart these days to not take him to ground. Realising if they're going to pin an arm, just to let the players stand there, because the umpires are so red hot on players not getting rid of the ball. It's their 4th holding the ball tonight for Geelong. She's done there, JB. She's been able to hold it there, knowing that you can't get rid of it.
Doesn't give you a lot of incentive when you're the player picking the ball up there in G50. I don't know what Steele can do.
Brian Myers. He's got a funky style, but it works. Geelong.
Better off not picking it up there, Hodgie, if you're side bottom.
It's going to be like that.
Still having a feel of it every now and then, Nick Dacos, but it looks okay.
This is the one, it's the ball getting side bottom picks it up, but I think the umpire just wants you to try and throw it onto the left boot. But
so he's just got to drop it, does he? Try and
he
kick
tries
it.
That's a really good tackle. With how the rules are put in place these days, it's a good tackle to pin an arm and hold him up. Don't take him to ground.
Just don't pick it up.
Myers, 34 goals over the last 3 years, but 77 goal assists. He's a goal assist machine. Good quarter here for the Cats, leading by 11, and they are building through the slot. Close saw Rowan coming, decided to let him go.
Thanks, Matt.
Dominating the quarter here at the moment, Geelong.
10-4 inside 50.
Umpire Robert Finley. Josh Dacos, the outside left foot here of Crisp. This will be coming back. A little handball from Bowes to Myers, not the required journey. Close around the corner. Richo, there's another one.
It's definitely the rule of the week. Now, people say, does that happen? Well, they do clamp down on certain things, and you get your first look on Friday night. That's it. That's the one this week.
Noble. Trying to by hand find Josh Dacos. Bowes came forward. So good response this from the Cats. Collingwood finished the first term with 4 straight and a lot of momentum.
You're not saying they put out a notice or anything, Richo. What you're saying is they may have just concentrated on it at training this week.
Well, I think with it being probably told that we've got to tighten up on how far the ball's going, BT. Yes, I do think that's happened.
Dacos
Pretty obvious.
Cleverly to himself, but then overruns the ball. Bowes straight back to Josh Dacos. Off a step, beautifully done. To go, having impact. Bobby Hill. High alert here, the Cats defenders. Never got any of that. Simple in the end for Max Holmes.
Geelong just got there to man the mark in the nick of time.
This is what Geelong have been trying to do in this second quarter, just take a little bit of life out of the game. Collingwood score off these turnovers. They've had 23 marks to Collingwood's 8. Try and pierce their way through like this.
Stewart couldn't let it go. He wanted to take that kick in the middle. What about the Hollywood handball from Noble? The pick up now here from Long and the short kick to Chris. It was so tempting for Tom Stewart.
And that's the thing, BT. Last week, Essendon were able to pierce their way through Collingwood. Tonight, Collingwood's defensive efforts are on. Those little kicks there, or the ones through the corridor, they're just getting a hand in to keep the ball alive in their forward 50.
Oh, what about the no-look party trick from Johnny Noble there? To Jack Crisp. 45 out. No problems at all. So Collingwood get their second goal of the quarter. They close it up to single figures again. Had a good week early last week, Jack, in terms of goals. 3 goals in 3 minutes he had last week. They're within 5.
If you're looking at that, Tommy Stewart 9 times out of 10 would hit that kick, but as we've said before, Collingwood in their desperation to keep the ball in the forward 50, I think it was Schultz there, desperation diving across, and then the composure to go back inside forward 50. Excellent defensive work from Collingwood.
Stewart bursting out of the middle. Goes for Stengel. Harrison now. Fast whistle. Ball wasn't coming out. Atkins. Dacos to himself and then wrapped up. Side bottom. Harrison. Stewart in front. Couldn't hang on. Henry. Nicely tackled by Schultz.
Last week, Collingwood had 43 tackles for the game so far. Tonight, they got 35. Put so much pressure on Geelong every time they get the ball.
Is this the best they've been in that area for a while, Hodgie?
For a number of weeks, BT.
Dacos to Crisp. Side bottom. Noble. A little bit of a side winding on the run ball here. Finds Hill. Oh, delayed selling of the candy there. Now looking for Elliott. Offhand, Stewart. Whipping away through the middle. Here come the Cats.
Wide open fall to the ball. This kick's got to work. It's stuck out in front of Quainer. Markov. Nick Dacos with his 21st touch. Quainer kicks into the man in front of him. Now Markov. He's got to clean up the mess.
Just see Isaac Quainer at the moment with his footy. He's just caught in 2 minds. You know.
He's been swung around a little bit over recent times, so lost a little bit of continuity with his position, Brian.
Yep.
Last year he was one of the better rebounding players for Collingwood. This year it seems like he's been more of a shutdown player. And as you said, it's taken that little bit of excitement out of his game.
I reckon they've all missed Murphy big time. I mean, Darcy Moore's missed him because it allows Darcy Moore to intercept more. I think Quayne has missed him because he could do the same. I think it's had a bigger effect than we're giving it benefit for. Yeah. Out the side door here. Myers appealing for the free. So good crowding, not many vacant seats here at the G. 3.5 minutes remaining in the half. Collingwood here by 5 points. John by 5 points, sorry.
It's too high. Should come back. To Cameron, it will.
Back to Darcy, please. Back here, Patrick. You make. That's here. Time on. There.
Short to Markov.
Stand.
Not sure about that one being 15, Richo.
Markov. High to the pocket. Henry comes in. Dacos. Bit off a little too much. Now advantage paid. Stengel. Side bottom. Rare miss from him, but Schultz also misses.
Schultz has to give that handball to Elliott. Elliott was front and square. That's a simple part of football. You learn that in under 10s. Pick it up, give it to the guy in front of you, especially someone who was as good as Elliott in front of goal.
Yeah, Elliott was going in the opposite way, and that's the way that Schultz sort of turned.
That was the old cardinal sin as a junior, Hodgie, the old U-turn.
Back in the day, he used to get dragged. They don't have it anymore.
Goes to Dempsey. Dempsey encouraging Dangerfield to go. He motors into fourth gear. Beautiful little chip ball to Stengel. Wonderful movement of the footy from the Cats.
Stand there, Darcy.
Thought about the short ball to Cameron.
He's a great kick at goal, Tyson. He's a really accurate kick, but the distance here may just be force him to hook it a little bit.
There was so much space in that forward line for Geelong. I would have liked to see him pull back a little bit quicker and let the forwards do some work and see if he could find a little gap.
Pretty good from set shots, as that indicates.
Oh, he's great.
Couple of minutes to the half-time break. That's the task ahead. From right on 50.
This is the Schultz replay. He picks up and just turns across to his right. Just give it. Just Elliott's right there. Go and give it to your left hand. Elliott will run round onto his left and snap a goal.
Hill. Crisp has got to park himself under the footy with danger closing. Kolodjasny from the front, Duncan from the back. Numbers here though with Collingwood. Schultz to Goey. Little hand in, Kolodjasny, Harrison. Elliott. Hoskin Elliott. Schultz fall to the ball. Long's there as well. Across comes Henry. Through comes Elliott. Taken out a tackle, got boot to ball. And a behind.
Was that deliberate boot on ball there? I reckon it was. He nearly got this. Look at that. Couldn't have been deliberate. Let's see if he's got...
That was off Stewart.
Off Stewart it was.
It did look like Elliott's. It looked like Elliott's boot though.
Outside 5.
Kolodjasny. Geelong have owned the quarter on the scoreboard. 4 goals to Collingwood's 2. Zach Tui here. What a play he's been. 283rd game for Tui. Carlton and the Cats. The back, good mark. They are good hands from Neil. Really good hands. Plenty of time. 20-odd seconds. Dangerfield unloads deep. Markov had to go by himself. Moore dashing across the front. Didn't want to go for it. This will be deliberate if it gets over the boundary line. And it does. It has to be deliberate. It isn't. Umpire says throw it in.
I think the only thing that saved him was he had a couple of teammates in the vicinity, but we all knew what he was trying to do. Excellent contest down there from Markov though.
So down to the last few seconds here. Feel like going to be difficult. For either side from here, Atkins, De Koning. By Chris Donald, one of our very best.
Welcome back to Friday Night Footy on Fox, sponsored by Industry Super Funds. When it comes to Super, there's only one symbol to look for.
All right, folks, there we go. That is halftime here at the MCG, and it's the Cats leading 7-6-48 to the Magpies 6-8-44. Not a bad quarter by both sides, I must say. The pressure gauge there, 208 both sides in that second quarter, so the pressure was sky high by both teams. There, have a look at that. So we have a little bit of a look there. Geelong booted 4 goals, 1 in that quarter, to the Pies 2 goals 3. So the Pies had their opportunities. Of course, a couple of, not quite well-directed passes to the forward line, which could have cost them a goal. And it could have been a late one to Elliott, but it wasn't to be. And, of course, the Cats come back strong. They're getting it back through the centre, down the forward line. They're looking pretty good at the moment. As I said, this game is anyone's to be won. It's a fierce battle here we've got at the MCG. And what a cracker it is. All right, folks, we're going to have a little bit of a look at the stats. It's stats time. Let's go and have a look at individual stats, the goal scorers, the fantasy points. Let's go and have a look at the team stats. We'll go and do that right now. Let's go and have a look at that. All right, so if we have a look at the player stats, that has been updated now. That has been updated. All right, so we are looking at the leading possession getter on the ground, which is Nick Dacos again with another 10 possessions in that quarter. He's playing really well. Now, we thought he might have done a hammy in that quarter, but it looks as though he just got a little bit of a corky to his leg. That was Moosey. Thank you for streaming. How you going? How are you, Moosey? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. So, yeah, it looks like Nick Dacos is okay from all reports, what we're seeing there. But here's the leading possession getter on the ground and having a pretty good game. 21 disposals. He's had 10 kicks, 11 handballs. He's had 1 mark, and he's doing a bit of damage around the clearances with 8. Johnny Noble there for the Magpies, next best with 14. 9 kicks, 5 handballs, 2 marks, 2 tackles, 1 clearance, and then comes Maxi home for Geelong on 14 disposals. It doesn't like to handball it too much. As you can see, he's had 13 kicks with only the 1 handball. He's had 7 marks. He's had 1 clearance as well, so not too bad. Josh Dacos next best for the Pies with 14. Who might will in this year? I tell you what, Al, I'm not sure. We thought Sydney looking good, but you know what? I would not write off this Geelong side. Geelong, they're a pretty nice outfit at the moment. The Catters, it could be Sydney, Geelong. At this time of year, I'm not too sure. It could still up for grabs. The one thing with Sydney is they're going to have a home final, and then it comes down to Carlton, Geelong, Fremantle. I'm not sure whether Essendon will get up there for second. I think it's between Carlton, Geelong, and Fremantle for second spot, who will get the home final there, which is a big advantage. But yeah, it should be very interesting this year. As I said, I like to see it. Maybe in about 4 more rounds' time, we'll just see. If the teams separate, if they're still holding their form, if they're still got free of injury. Because normally the teams going really well at the pointy end of the season that have got the form. They've got pretty much a full list of players running on the ground, as we've seen in the past. So there we go. Josh Dacos, Jack Bowers. Let's just run through a few rundown there for the folks out there who are wanting to see the stats. Jordan Nagoe, not too bad there. 11. He's playing a pretty good game, a little bit bullish. He's done a few good things there in the midfield there. And had a couple of goal assists there as well. 11 disposals, 7 kicks, 4 marks. He's had 4 handballs, 3 marks, I should say, 2 tackles and 2 clearances. So he's not having too bad of a game on that one. Sam DeConing there for the Catters, a little bit quieter than last week. Is Sam DeConing for the Catters. He's there with 10 disposals, 7 kicks, 3 handballs, 1 mark, 1 tackle, just the 4 hit-outs and 2 clearances. We'll just run down a little bit more. Get a few more stats. There we go. The captain for the Pies, only 7 touches, Scotty Pendlebury. 4 kicks, 3 handballs. Now, we'll have a little bit of a look down when we get to Jeremy Cameron, because Jeremy Cameron had no touches in the first quarter, but Jeremy Cameron has gone a bit better in that second corner. Very healthy. Now, who is healthy? I'm not sure. I think a few of the teams, you know what, Geelong actually look like they're a pretty healthy side. They look like they got pretty much their list in at the moment, I think. Collingwood definitely missing quite a few players, but still hanging on, going all right. Jeremy Cameron there with no touches in that first quarter. He lifted his game slightly in that second quarter with 4 disposals. He's had 3 kicks and he's kicked 2 goals, so not a bad percentage there. He's had the 1 handball, 1 mark still, and 3 tackles, so picked his game up. Sydney Swans are very healthy so far. I tell you what, that's going to go a long way, Al, if they can stay healthy for the end of the year, coming into finals time, especially if they can get their home final, which it looks like they will. They're still 2 games ahead, plus a big percentage, which is pretty much like a game. So they're pretty well got 3 games in hand, the Sydney Swans. So there you go. Luke Parker comes back, another big inclusion there for the Swans. So we're just having a little bit of a look at the players' stats there. Slowly go up since we've got plenty of time here over the break. Paddy Dangerfield there for the Catters. He's had 12 touches. He's played a pretty good game there. 10 kicks, 2 handballs. He's had 1 mark and 1 tackle. 6 clearances, so he's doing his job as well tonight. Paddy Dangerfield there for the Catters. Jack Bowes not going too bad either for the Catters. 14 with 7 clearances. All right, let's go and have a look at the goal scorers in the game today. We've got Joey Richards for the Magpies. He's slotted 2 goals. We've got Shannon Neal and Jeremy Cameron for the Geelong Cats. They've both kicked 2. And of course, we've got singles to Myers Manag for Geelong, and we've got singles to Lipinski, Woolhoskin Elliott, Jamie Elliott, Crisp, and Brad Close there, 1 for the Catter. So there we go. Tomorrow game, Callum Mills comes back for the Sydney Swans men's team versus North Melbourne Kangaroos. It'll be a good game. I think I'm covering that game, Al, so it should be pretty good. Let's have a little bit of a look at the fantasy points there. If you play the fantasy points there, folks, we're looking at the far left line here. So we've got Darcy Cameron there on 65, takes the lead now with the highest on the fantasy points there for the game so far up until half time. 66, Josh Dacos up to 65. Tommy Stewart there for the Cats on 63. Maxi Holmes 62, Myers 58, Nick Dacos 52, John Noble 48. Kolodziński, 48. Duncan, Mitch Duncan there for the Catters, 46. Jordan Nagoe, 46. Oh, you'll be covering that game too. Awesome. Good stuff, Al. Good stuff. We'll have a few covering that. I think, where is it? Where is it? I was just having a look before at matches fixture. Yeah, I thought about doing the Hawthorn Fremantle game, but I think Addy G will be doing the Fremantle game, so I'll possibly do the Sydney game, the Carlton game, the Adelaide game. I'm not sure whether I'll do the Adelaide St Kilda or the Melbourne Essendon, but it should be those 3 games tomorrow. So that's the fantasy points. Let's go and have a look at the team stats now. So the team stats, we've got 9 minutes, folks, until the start of the 3rd quarter. I'll tell you what, don't go anywhere. It is going to be an absolute cracker of a second half coming up in just over 9 minutes time. Disposals, let's have a look at the disposals. The Cats on top there by just 10 disposals, so not too much there, pretty well even. The kicks, the Catters are a little bit more clean there with the handball, so they're kicking more, 133 to 101. Pies got a little bit more handball. They've been a little bit more handball savvy there. 74-52 to the Catters. The inside 50s, Geelong in front there by 7. Of course, they are a little bit over their season's average of 54.8. And of course, Collingwood are a little bit under their average of the inside. That being said, for 22 inside 50s, they've kicked 6 goals, 8. It's not too bad at the moment. Looking at their efficiency in disposal, both sides a little bit below the average. 68 to the Pies, 66.5 to the Catters, so they're pretty much even there, even though they're a little bit under for the season. Of course, the efficiency inside 50, just with those 22 inside 50s for the Pie, kicking 6 goals, 8. They're going at 63.6. So that is that's up. That's about 20% up on their season's average. And of course, Geelong are about 10% down on their average. So they need to get a little bit more efficient inside their forward 50. Free kicks, 7 to 10. Geelong 3 more free kicks in the match. Stoppages, Collingwood in the front, they're leading the house there in the stoppages, 39 to 11. The clearances, Geelong still on top there, 19 to 24. They are cruising above there, about 5 above season average so far. Of course, Collingwood are smack on the season average with 19. Centre clearances, Geelong doing the job there pretty well. 9 to 3 on the centre clearances. Of course, they're above their average. They're probably about 50% up on their average for the year. And of course, Collingwood are well below there, so they need to lift their game in the centre clearance and get first touch on the ball to stick it down to their forward. Stoppage clearances, pretty even there, 16 to 15. Contested possessions, again, pretty even. As I said, folks, this is a pretty even game. This game could go either way. Just depends on the momentum swings we have. 59 to 61 on the contested, 109, 111 on the uncontested, and the turnovers. Geelong there, a few more turnovers there. Possession for the second quarter there, Geelong had it 43% of the time to Collingwood's 39, of course out of bounds and all, etc. For the rest, the last 10 minutes, Geelong still had a little bit more possession there, but for the match, 39 to 43%. Geelong have been holding the ball a little bit more. Let's have a look at the marks now. The marks are well and truly in front with Geelong. Geelong are pretty much up on their season's average in most of their sections here at the moment. 60 to 36. Marks inside 50, where it can do a fair bit of damage though. Pretty well even. 7 to 6. Contested marks, 1 apiece. Of course, 6 goals, 8 to the Maggies, 7-6 to the Catters. Tackles, well, their pressure gauge has been pretty high at the moment for both sides in that second quarter. 39 tackles to 35, and I think Collingwood only had 55 tackles for the entire game last week, so they've picked their game up, they've picked their pressure up, and they've certainly brought it tonight. Just got to make a few better decisions going forward, finding their targets there. Tackles inside 50, Collingwood under the season average, and of course Geelong have brought their heat tonight. Tackles inside 50. They're already on their season's average, and it's only the halfway point in the game. So both sides are bringing the pressure tonight, which is good. In general, the Cats on the bounce, 3-0 so far to the Pies. 1%ers. The Pies are doing a little bit more in the 1%ers. You got to do your 1%ers, folks. That can make all the difference. 30-16. Collingwood leading that way. And they are on the interchanges made. You got 75 interchanges. So when players can go off and have a rest and the other player come on, Collingwood have used pretty much 50% so far. And of course, the Catters are just under 50%. But that is the stats, folks. That is the stats so far in the game, halftime. We've got 4 minutes before the bounce of the ball. Coming up to the third quarter, we'll be starting. But if you have a look, a little bit of this worm, and Geelong did start off well. They had the momentum early on in the game, and of course Collingwood peeled their way back, so they had a little bit of momentum. They went into that second quarter leading, but then Geelong got the momentum back. Collingwood got it back a little bit more, stemmed the tide, hit the front, and then Geelong took it back. Pies got the last goal of the second quarter, and of course we see the result there that after half-time, it's the Cats leading here at the MCG, 7-6, 48 to the Magpies, 6-8, 44. We're only just a few minutes off the start of the second quarter here in the big game between Collingwood and Geelong. Let's have a look at a little bit of the chat there. Good stuff. Al will be covering the game tomorrow. You got your vlogging equipment with me. Are you going to the game? Are you actually going to the game, Al? Are you going to the Sydney North Melbourne game tomorrow? That'll be fantastic. And my selfie stick with me. Good stuff. That'll be brilliant. Will I ever see Sydney Swan men's team win a few AFL grand finals? I tell you what, it's you'd want to see them, Al. You'd want to see them win a grand final in your time. They definitely have the team, and they're certainly playing that great brand of football that can take them all the way to the last day in September. I think they definitely got their window, this year or next year. But I definitely think they can't let this one slip away. They're just playing great football against the good sides. And you know what? Sometimes when you play the better sides, your better football can come out. So even though the Swannies have lost the last couple, they did lose last week to St Kilda, which was a little bit rare, the away game. That being said, sometimes it's good to have a couple of losses, 1 or 2 losses to get back on track, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. But yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to the game. That'll be great. I tell you what, I have not been to the football live for maybe a couple of years, I think. A couple of years. And I think the last game I went to was Collingwood and the Gold Coast at the MCG. We won that game, so that was quite nice. To awaken the Sydney Swans team this year. Yeah, they're a big chance. They're definitely a big chance this year. All right, we are going to start this second half here in just a moment, folks. We're within a minute, and we're going to start this game. We're going to start this game. All right, the boys are discussing it, and then we're going to get back out onto the ground. So I might take you back to the commentators while they have a little bit of a chit chat, and it'll be straight back out onto the ground, I should say, folks. All right, the players are starting to line up. We'll take you back to the commentators now. Enjoy the third quarter. Here we go, folks.
Stoppies, he's got involved in some score assists. I think he's been impactful and looked really dangerous. So look for that to continue.
You feel like it's a battle between him and Dangerfield, not matched up against each other, but who's going to be the most dynamic, especially out of centre bounce to establish territory for their teams? Roddy?
Yeah, I think he's been powerful. I think Hoskin Elliott's probably been the player on the ground, so can he continue that form and drag them back into this game over the line?
Big half of footy coming up. We'll see you at three-quarter time.
But, they've had a pretty good game plan they've been able to implement, BT.
Umpire Brendan Hosking to get us underway here at the MCG. Friday night football. Good bounce in the middle.
Collingwood. Collingwood. Stay back now. Move out, back here.
Cameron to Nick Dacos. Dacos launching inside 50. Not his best ball.
Push out.
Free kick here will go the way of the Cats.
Stand good.
To Coney. To the wing. Stengel was thinking that someone else might have been coming and waited for the contest. That didn't happen. Lipinski, side bottom. Sensed he had someone right on his tail. Unloaded it. Hill was coming from 4 deep. Tui, little clumsy. Lipinski, fumble. Guthrie to go, he ripped it out. Banged it on the boot, did Kruger. High ball. Little one out the back door to Hill. Didn't quite wrap it around the post.
A couple of great contests by Big Kruger over there on the half-forward line. Got it to ground against DeConing. Kept it alive in their forward half.
Duncan bites off the short one, and it's Tommy Stewart.
Stand.
12th possession for him. Quasi mid-defensive role. Holmes. He's going to get it back. And takes the game on, takes the grass in front of him. Cameron, a reach. Well done, Frampton. Oh, that's not going to work, although Danger spilt it. Atkins. Dangerfield goes and gets it back. It's still a messy ball. Holmes. And Cameron, now this is interesting. Loves it from here, Jezza, as Frampton's slow to get up.
Just like. Come in, please.
Jeremy Cameron was really concerned here. He felt like Frampton may have got a bit of a knock. Did he
His boot or something? Is there?
The boot definitely got him there. They always had good release handball back there, the Cats, and it ended up in Cameron's hands.
Highly skilled footballer. It's across the face and hasn't quite got the journey.
I reckon the doctors will take a look at this. Just a glancing blow maybe from the back of the heel, and Cameron was certainly concerned, and he was down for a minute, didn't get up looking that good. I reckon the doctors will have a look at that on the replay and probably react to what they see, Richo.
Yeah, they'll be looking at that now, BT. So keep an eye on that.
One here to Josh Dacos. Richard's there as well. Have a throw in.
They certainly have taken a look at it down here on the bench, but there's not too much movement, so I'll keep an eye on that one.
Looking good now. Blitz arms. Dangerfield. And will be going at it. Cats get it inside 50 here. More under pressure, side bottom. That'll be probably deliberate. I reckon he got a bit too much spin on it, but Simon Meredith had no doubt.
Collingwood have got a lot of numbers back in their forward 50. Geelong are playing a bit of a ring on the way on the outside of it.
Ryan Myers. Low stinger. Almost Neil. Cameron. Jezza! He is a star. the price of admission. Jeremy Cameron.
This is the hardest thing with Quina. He's worried about Cameron leading up towards the kicker, so he tries to take front spot. But Jez is that experienced, he's that agile. He's able to run back to the top of the goal square. And for a big fellow who's 6'5", to be able to throw it onto the left boot like that, you can see why he's a star.
60 goals from 16 games against Collingwood. He loves playing Collingwood.
We asked him before the game. He's aware of that. You do come into the game feeling confident because you do record against them.
Outstanding. Josh Dacos' kick has to be good, and it is to Cameron. He's taken a step, probably could have been called play on. It is now. Noble. Elliott. Little kick over the top to the gully, and they sneak it in there.
That was smart play. DeConing was sitting at the top of the goal square waiting for a long one to come in. And then just two little small kicks. The first one up to Elliott. And then Elliott just smart, composed, hitting DeGoey, as you see there, DeConing at the top of the goal square, waiting for that long one to come.
I feel like he needs to be inside left goal post here, depending on a little bit what his ball does in the air. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. DeGoey gets his first, brings the margin back to 4 points. Taller than you think, Jordan DeGoey. I was down the rooms earlier, JB, and he had me covered. I'm 6'2.5", and he had me done.
Yep. Extraordinary, explosive athlete.
And this was smart from Collingwood. DeConing's dropping back. Geelong know that they've got to protect the top of the goal square, but this is where they thought their way through it. Richo mentioned earlier in the call that Collingwood had to change angles, lower their vision, try not to bomb it away, and that's what they were able to do then. Found two lead-ups, kicked a crucial goal.
Well, it's still only 4 intercept marks for Geelong, so that's something they've got to continue to do.
Stewart. Went past it, now gone Cameron. Oh, no whistle. Tui got to work hard, he went to ground. Spinning out of there long, but straight to Henry. Henry goes in search of Dempsey and did well.
That's such an important role Dempsey's playing, giving that outlet kick there. I mean, Henry bombs it out there, but he knows Dempsey is going to be out there.
Cameron, little underground one, blitz halves, and it gets over.
Side bottom been good tonight. Had 15 touches. Game 325 tonight joins Ackermanis, Alan Drew Bolton, McVeigh, Ian Nankervis and Heath Shaw on that number. 325 games. What a star he has been. Moved into the top 50 of all-time games played. There's still side bottom. There's Stewart. Atkins feeding to Koning. Just takes the metres here to Koning wide and marked off. Reading it nicely for the Pies in the back end.
The skipper on. Just gets it to Frampton.
Outside 5. Outside 5. Outside 5.
Geelong have worked across, they've zoned the ground really well.
Noble. Cameron, uncontested, but it's going to go Stewart's way. It was Long that held him out.
That's where Long was trying to do the right thing, but when you got your ruckman by himself, just back him to take that mark, his intent was right.
Too much on the Henry kick. To Koning now with Richards. Side bottom comes in and breaks it up. Little fumble. Elliott gets it back to side bottom. Richards now. Sits the footy up, and that's what Tommy Stewart does best.
Yeah, that was really well done, but dangerous to go. He was eyeing that ball. Yet another 70,000 plus crowd into the G tonight. Coming in blitz arms. Pendlebury did well. And long. Third quarter inside 50s. Pretty much even. Still owning the ball in their half of the ground, the Cats.
This is where you see Elliott, Schultz at the bottom of the screen. I'd love to see those guys get in the stop, get on the fly.
On the move instead of waiting outside, Roger.
Yeah, that's where their skills are.
He's told to go. Frampton bullies his way through, then bangs it on the high ball. It'll be a ground level ball. Elliott goes to work. To go, he's there as well. On the left boot. Too much bend.
So 6 inside 50s to 4 in there. Just winning the ball at ground level and the contest a lot better at the moment, Collingwood. So they've got a little bit of momentum here. I feel like they need to kick a couple of goals in the next 5 minutes because they're definitely in charge of things at the moment.
De Koning taken out of it very comfortably. Cameron.
They've actually got a forward half game happening. They've got to capitalise.
Look to Noble. And we'll go there now. Oscar Elliott will come at this. Guthrie smothered, then goes off the ground. It's working.
2 metres,
To Lawson Humphries. From Roburn, BT. I don't know if you've ever been there near
Yes,
Port Hedland.
I have indeed.
It is remote and it is hot.
Yep, it is indeed.
High from De Koning. Rowan. Smart by side bottom. Nick Dacos. Got to wait for something to unfold. It does in the form of Schultz. And Schultz, beautifully done. So crisp.
Geelong had a number back, JB. They had a number back. That kick was crucial there to change the angle and not blaze away.
And Jack Crisp was the one who got that handball and gave it the side bottom. Started the play, work rate got him in the forward line.
To give the Pies some reward for effort and give them back the lead. Jack Crisp. To the top of the square. Elliott! How good is it to have this man back?
Oh, that's lovely.
That's a pretty regulation one for Billy. This for his second. Collingwood are back in front. Real concerns when the word blood clot was heard. Got a very good medical and physio team at Collingwood. They've got him back on track.
Have a look at the young kid in the first row there. There he is in the white cap. He says yes, that's a Jamie Elliott mark. Kicks his second, puts Collingwood up by 3.
You can't let him run and jump. He had a young opponent there in Humphries who just got in front of him, couldn't get back, and when he can run and jump, you're in massive trouble.
Gee, between Elliott and Bobby Hill, marks of the year between them, and probably goals as well, but certainly lively in the air, both of them. So Elliott kicks his second. Knocked down here to Crisp. Tui should get on the end of this. Richards pursues. Backs himself, Tui, and did extremely well to Clark. Clark just holds it up for the Cats.
He saw more down against Stengel and wisely went the other way. Here is Lawson Humphries. Cameron, well defended by Quainer.
That's excellent by Quainer. Kept with him. There's a bit of a body spoil as well. Geelong moved the ball well. They switched it to the open side. That's where they normally find Cameron in that pocket.
Face the ball, Isaac, face the ball.
Get a forward half stoppage here. Blitz halves. Act away from Dangerfield. To Coney. Now out in front of Richards. Cleverly done. Still the ball stays in. Now it's out.
How about that from Richards on the outside of the boot?
See, Isaac Quainer again, when the umpire said you have to face the play, and Quainer goes, no, I don't, not unless I'm touching him and giving away the free.
Spot on. If he's not touching him, he can stand whatever way he wants.
Absolutely. I know they're probably just, as Hodgie said earlier, trying to give him a warning not to engage. Mark off. To go right over the Twitter logo. Sends a long ball in. Out the back is Hoskin Elliott too. He had to do it and he did. Waiting for the troops to arrive. Bobby Hill. Lipinski. G. Guthrie did well. Great win for Guthrie. Boundary will do him. Well done, Cam Guthrie, against the odds.
They continue to get it to ground in their forward half, Collingwood. Been outstanding so far, taking away Geelong's intercept.
Blitz halves. Getting rid of Kruger. To go. Kolajasny. Pretty happy to see the line. Only just got there.
I'm sure, JP, but this Collingwood crowd seems to be getting a lot more vocal out there. Every umpire decision. That throw there from Blitz after the crowd were pretty vocal with that, but then Pendlebury, whenever he gets it, he's never rushed. He's always got composure.
It's lived down here for Collingwood. Kruger pings off a couple of feet. Tui. Dangerfield. Just missing with side bottom Atkins. The free kick will go to Collingwood. Dacos takes advantage. Turns out it mightn't have been there. Through comes side bottom. Maynard boot to ball. And this young man, Lawson Humphries, has a nice moment.
Played for Swans, I think, at Bassanine Oval, did he? Not JB? Yep. Rocky Shorts. Bit of contact injury there. Mitch Duncan. The calm Mitch Duncan. Bowes. So Geelong absorbing these few minutes from Collingwood at their forward end.
Looks good, Humphries, BT.
Yeah.
Talking. He's had 9 kicks at 100%. Jack Bowes said during the week he didn't know what his preferred foot was.
Well, we're trying to see if he can pick it, Richo.
Well, there's
the left. It looked a little left, didn't it?
Yeah,
Non-preferred.
But he hits the targets, BT.
Here he goes. Lovely handball. Guthrie, neat kick. Stengel, just out of range. Play on, says the umpire. Stengel, nice composure to then get it right to Close. And Close says, that's the mark. There's my knee there. Stengel wanting it out the back door, but I think Close has got the journey here if he wants. He's closed the shutters and he's done the right thing. He's confident. Distance is not a problem. To put the Cats back in front by 3 points. To make it 2 each in the quarter. Close in the end, does struggle for the journey a little. Kept alive here by Neil. Dangerously for the Pies. Clark did well to work it back into play. Quainer was hoping it found the boundary.
Come do a score review from the last passage, okay? So just hands up. We've got a score review, and it will be if it's not a score.
That's pretty well explained.
We're doing a score review.
ball
Review
has got to
complete.
get over
Looking
the
at
line.
this angle, we can see the ball has not crossed the back of the scoring line. Decision on the scoreboard.
So we come back to the ball.
Ball up. You guys right? Okay. Hey.
Holmes taken out of it. Kruger. Nicely done.
Player.
Cats control that pretty well. Forward is Clark.
Get behind. Stand. Player.
Low penetrating ball. Cameron a little hand in. Stengel trying to milk it free. Gives it back to Jezza. For number 4, he never got it properly off the boot.
Great desperation there from Quino. Just a bit of context about the pressure from Collingwood. They've had 2 more tackles tonight with 7 minutes to go on the clock than what they had for the whole game last week. Take away that first 3 minutes, they've been excellent.
Really is the key for Collingwood, isn't it? If their pressure's up, extremely hard to beat. Cameron.
Not 15, player!
There it is again. Maynard's been pinged here.
Advantage,
The advantage is paid, and it's a throw to Blitzards. Clear advantage call there from umpire Simon Meredith.
So back to the players need to adjust with those short 45 kicks now. It's clear as day. So they've got to go a little bit longer now.
You mean the ones that aren't travelling the 15?
Yeah. Nearly hurt Collingwood there.
stand!
It's good umpiring. I like it, Richo.
Just the being stricter on the rule that was always there.
Henry. Schultz. Just bashes it onto the boot, and Bowes is the only one back there.
Outside 5.
Got Guthrie on laterally, uses that. Holmes, if he wants to bite off the corridor, he doesn't. They've been stung a few times, Geelong, heading in there.
Stand.
Mitchie Duncan, the veteran, misses. Holmes now. Had running support. That kick's a little strong. Close. Blitzarves working his way through. Myers. Wobbly ball. It works. Manor. High one here. Cameron comes at it. Dempsey at ground level. Finds Dangerfield. Drives the legs. And misses.
No scores from stoppages in this quarter. Everything has come off turnover. Nick Dacos with 26. Max Holmes with 20. Noble. Good fly from Rowan. Couldn't reel it in. Blitzarves. Gentle hands. Holmes intelligent. And that's... It was off the shin of Clark, but it's gone the other way. Holmes appealing for the free. There's more. Just got rid of it, or did he? Nick Dacos wanting to give and go. Frampton couldn't find him. Not enough room. Pendlebury now. Danger ball. He's weaving before he even got it. It was magnificent from Nick Dacos. Markov pounds the ball forward. Look at this. Hoskinelli's pulled to play on. Then he slips and makes a mess of it. Oh, the shake and bake from Nick Dacos before the ball actually arrived. And the curved back to go with it.
Holmes will run onto this. Stengel a long way forward of the ball. So is Close. Mismatch here with Neil and Quainer. And they can go further than that for Dempsey. In the end, the kick didn't really work.
Stengel. As his awareness, he knew Cameron was on his hammer. And well done, Jeremy. You got there.
Can they create out of this? No Hawkins in this situation, we know. Stewart. And Stengel's over.
This is where Stengel has to realise the blokes around him. Cameron's on Richards, 196 centimetres to 177. Stengel stays down with Quaino. Cameron gets a simple mark there. Work as a team in that forward line.
Great pick up, Hodgie. Here's Rowan. Lock down to Pendlebury. Just goes the half. Mum. Carney probably should have hung on. Look at the no-look handball. Schultz invites him to run again. Hill's kick is not good right in front of the MCC members.
Cats have dropped a few of those marks they would normally take, intercepting, but it's because the Pies have been there all night, getting it to ground, so you start thinking there's going to be pressure there.
Good kick into the middle for Bowes. Humphreys.
He's a right footer, but he can kick either side, Humphreys.
Dempsey on the wing. We'll go back to Humphreys.
Still 100% by foot, Richo.
Chewed that off.
Hasn't he, Justin? It works too. Atkins. Duncan to Bowes. De Koning's going to be mown down. Stengel, what about the pickup? And he kicks a goal. Great skill. First of the night for Tyson Stengel. And that is our 6th lead change. Just to underscore what a cracking game we got.
Third game for Lawson Humphreys, and he's got some minerals, because look at that there. That kick into the middle just opens it up. It opens up the fat side of the ground there. It was a bit of a struggle from there, but Stengel eventually finishes off. I think Pies fans think there should have been maybe a free kick against Stengel here.
It was more of a bump than a tackle though, wasn't it, Richard?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Here's Atkins and Stewart. Atkins just a hard-nosed winner of the footy. Speaking about that, here's Stewart. Well done for Manor. Is he within range here? Game number 4 for him. What, did he have 14 tackles or something last week? Short kick. Dempsey. So looking for double-figure lead here. Minute and a half to go before three-quarter time.
That hurts there because Collingwood worked really hard back. They only had 4 players not in that defensive 50. Be a snooze for a second and Geelong will find that spare.
Good angle for Dempsey. Kick of 45 metres. To make it a 3-2 quarter for the Cats. And an 11-point lead on the eve of three-quarter time. Beautiful kick from Dempsey. 11 points for the Cats.
It's a talented package, isn't it? Talk to Joel Selwood, he says he will take mark of the year. It's only a matter of when.
Can do a bit of everything, JB.
This is Dempsey. I've loved his move up to the wing by Chris Scott. He's been able to kick the goal there, but since he's gone up over the last 3 weeks, he's number 1 at the club for disposals, inside 50s, score assists. He's had a real impact for Geelong since moving to the wing.
Couple in a row then for Geelong. Dangerfield goes to work in the middle. Customary arc. And then a long ball forward. Rowan unable to get hands to it. Here's Dempsey again. Uses Rowan. Wobbly, floaty ball for Holmes. Harrison did well to break it up. Through comes Humphreys and just hits the wrong side of the ball.
34 seconds. Collingwood won't at all be interested in scoring from here. All about safety.
Yeah, Kruger and Cameron, this will just be long down the line.
See the signs on the benches there. Cameron will just try and work it towards the boundary line. Keeps it alive. Frampton overrun it. Stewart. High contact on Frampton.
Handball has a little stand. Time to clock.
20 seconds to go. Can drop it short to the goalie if he wants.
Collingwood are calling it the centre forward. Trying to be aggressive to score.
Frampton a little safer than that. High ball, no winner in that contest there as Humphreys sees it over the boundary. And with 3 seconds remaining, there'll be no further score. Geelong are going to lead by 11 points here at three-quarter time. They led by 4 at half time. Collingwood by a goal at quarter time. 3 goals to 2 in the quarter for the Cats. Collingwood will get the free here. Cameron's going to have a ping, but it's the Malcolm Blight and better miracle torpedo.
Push right out. Must kick over the
It's really sometimes can be embarrassing because if you're loading up from here, Richo, and you're not a great exponent of the torpedo, and you don't get much of it, you've got to have a crack though.
Yes.
Here he is. It's just a low swinging barrel with not a great appeal about it. So Geelong here at three-quarter time. A slender lead it is in a game that's been hard fought.
All right, folks, three-quarter time here in the MCG. And, of course, the Geelong Cats take the lead. 10-9-69 to the Pies, 8-10-58. Another cracking quarter. And, of course, Geelong got that lead within the last few minutes of the game where they snagged a couple of late goals. Of course, Geelong putting on their 3 goals, 3 in that quarter to the Pies, 2 goals, 2. It's anyone's game here at the MCG. As I said, there's no standout team here at the moment. It's, a little bit of goal for goal type of situation. And I think anyone's chance to win this is who wants it more in the final quarter. As I said before, the Cats had a few lucky goals in that quarter, and of course the Pies, they had their chances. But couldn't put it on the scoreboard. All right, let's have a quick look at some of the stats here. Hey, Brett, how you going? No worries. Thanks for just stopping by to share. Appreciate that. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're going to have a little bit of a look at the stats of the players' stats now, and we'll see. Let me just get back to the worm. Over on this one, players' stats, that's where I want. And that's been updated. All right, let's have a little bit of a look at the players' stats here. So, the leading possession getter as it continues into the third quarter, still Nick Dacos there with 28. He's had 12 kicks, 16 handballs. Thanks for sharing the stream there, Brett. Appreciate that. 1 mark, 1 tackle, 9 clearances. He's copped a little bit of stick in that third quarter, but still doing okay. Just the 7 touches in that third quarter. Are you going to bed early in the morning there? Always good to get a little bit of sleep there when it's late at night. I know what you mean. I get to bed late too, and it's good to get a little bit of shut-eye sometimes. We'll catch you around then, your tomorrow, I guess, or my tomorrow. Thanks, Brett. Second on the stats there, Maxi Holmes with 23 there for the Catters. 18 kicks, 5 handballs, 9 marks, 2 tackles, 1 clearance. Will run down there. Still side bottom, 21, Noble 19, DeGoey 19. Paddy Dangerfield, another good quarter by him with 19 possessions, 13 kicks, 6 handballs, 6 clearances for him. De Koning picked his game up a little bit in that third quarter. A goal assist with 18 touches now, 12 kicks, 6 handballs, 5 hitouts, 3 clearances. Let's just run down the board a little bit to get your favourite players' stats there. So we're looking in here. This is the disposals. This is the kicks. This is the handballs, the marks, the tackles, the hitouts, and the clearances. Just for reference there, folks. We keep coming down here. Oliver Dempsey there for the Catters, 13 touches. Pendlebury just with 12, a little bit of a quiet game for him. He needs to pick up his final quarter if the Pies want to get over the line. Jamie Elliott, another reasonable quarter. Just a little bit quiet in the second half of that third quarter there. So we keep going down. Of course, Jeremy Cameron there for the Catters, there forward with 7 disposals now, 6 kicks. He doesn't like to handball. He's their forward. He's kicked 3 goals. That's a little bit of that. Let's just have a look at the goal scorers as they stand. Jeremy Cameron there, leading goal scorer with 3. Joey Richards there with 2 for Collingwood. Shannon Neal there for the Cats with 2. Jamie Elliott with 2. Stengel, Myers, Mannon, Lipinski, Will Hoskin, Elliott, Dempsey, DeGoey, Jack Crisp, and Brad Close there for 1. Quick look at the AFL fantasy points. If you're in that game, Darcy Cameron there leading the way with 102 from Max Holmes with 100. DeGoey 81 with Dacos. Josh Duncan 78. Stewart 75. Humphrey 75. Dempsey 75. Myers 73. Dacos 72. Quick look at the team stats, the disposals there. Being the Cats' hands a little bit more. 33 more disposals there. Around about 50 odd more kicks, but about 20 less handballs. Inside 50s. Geelong on top there by 9. The efficiency disposal certainly went up a little bit for the Catters there. They were definitely a lot cleaner there. And of course, their efficiency inside picked up and the Pies dropped off. The free kicks 12 to 14. Nothing much to go on there. There's the stoppages. The hit-outs, Collingwood leading that. But the centre clearances, Geelong still well on top there. All right, running down the contested possessions. We're about to head back to the final quarter. I tell you what, folks, stay tuned. This is going to be a ring-a-ding-ding. Look at that. Geelong Cats, 50 marks above the Pies. They've got a big advantage there. Defensive tackles inside 50. The Cats bringing the heat there, 12 to 6. All right, folks, let's get back to the game. They're on the ground. The umpire's about to ball it up. Let's get back to the commentators. Come on, Pies. That's who we want.
Getting down the business end of the season. Friday night footy, biggest stage, biggest audience, all eyes on these teams. This is where the big guns step up. And imagine Tom Stewart will have some say in it as well. Can the Pies reel in the Cats? We'll see you post-game.
They got it in him. There is Stewart. Maynard in front of Manor. Wants to release quickly here to Noble. Long. Heard it clearly from the umpire.
That was another contest there, Richard. They just brought the ball to ground. Geelong had that number.
Stewart again with strength. Close comes in. Just on Henry and misses with the handball. Cameron comes back in on it, Henry. But the handball's astray again. Dangerous hands here with Pendlebury. Steers it into the pocket. Schultz and his fellow number 8. Colin Jasny, the ball's over.
Well, the lowest amount of intercept marks that the Cats had taken this year was 7. That game up at Darwin against the Suns, and after that it was 12. So they've just done really well to battle and get it to ground.
Surprisingly, Shannon Neal is the one that's come off for Ollie Henry to come on. So he's been subbed out of the game. And now the back doors. Nick Dacos was swerving. Side bottom. Closing. Hammers it home. set up by Dacos. Nice finish by side bottom. The 325 gamer.
Dacos just off the back of the stoppage, just smart enough to push him underneath. Manor gets caught going into Dacos. There's one person for Collingwood who you don't leave by himself 35 metres out. It's still side bottom, but once again, Nick Dacos willing himself into the game. At the 29 so far, been very consistent, set up another goal.
Toss it to Stewart. Long ball, Cameron at the back, Wayner. Takes a really good mark. Having to wait for it, Lipinski. Noble, they corral him, he goes back to Lipinski. Manor gets in the way to Koning. Dangerfield, they crunch him. Hill off the deck, didn't work. Guthrie, resolute defender, all the way through to Rowan. Well done. Cameron on the end of it.
A bit of luck involved there. It was like a pinball machine through the middle of the ground. There were numbers out either way. And if it got through, someone was going to have a shot at goal. And it is the Cats. Look, they had good representation at ground level there. And gee, that's good skill by Rowan.
Loves playing football against Collingwood, Jeremy Cameron. This for his fourth. Never, ever looked right, did it?
It was still side bottom. Lipinski. Wayner growing in confidence. Bit of a push there from Hill. Schultz now to Hill. Collected a nice sitting ball. Turns Colleges the inside out. Then the right foot creator. Holmes, Dempsey and Stewart. Bowes. And close.
Outside 5. Play on line.
Gee, they did well to settle that down there, the Cats. They're under the pump at ground level there.
Neither side showing any inclination to slow this game down. The ball is flying around. Guthrie puts the hand up and says, righto, some composure needed. Wilson Humphries.
I think the next one will have to be long. They've got it shut down now, the Pies.
Does exactly that. Dacos. Maynard. Right in the right spot, Hoskin Elliott. What's he seen in the pocket?
You're free.
It's going to be a Collingwood free.
Tell you what, Schultz got the pretty solid knock in the face as well. There's the push in the back.
Jordan.
Headbutt with Tommy Stewart.
I reckon they both have to come off here. Schultz and Stewart.
Wait.
Stewart had a concussion back in round 7, Richo, this year.
He did.
He will have no interest in coming off Tommy Stewart.
He's going to have to, though.
Yeah, he is.
Line back on, stand.
Again, Kruger has just competed hard.
Both of them coming off, Richo.
So while all that's happening, this becomes a big kick for Nathan Kruger. To draw the Pies level. And he also misses.
Abs down to you, both being assessed.
Yeah, Lockie Schultz is going straight down to the rooms with the doctors, and Reef McKinn's just getting final instructions on the phone. He has taken his T-shirt off as I speak, so it looks as though they're going to make that interchange as quickly as possible. But interestingly as well, the Cats have just made their sub with Henry coming into the game, so they could be a man down here.
Stewart with a bit of a left eye. Little golf ball on the top there as well. In the meantime, Blitzarves charges forward with the footy. got this covered, or has he? Frampton out the back door to Henry. There he is. The man that's come on the ground goes backwards to Dempsey. Buys him some time and space. Myers always creative. Tom Atkins, what can he find with this kick? Cameron encouraged Bose to come into it. And now Bose a look, and there's the Stewart eye. So Bose to make it an 11-point lead here to get it back to the three-quarter time margin. Pretty simple kick, 25 metres, no problems. Cats by 11. Bose gets his first, an important one.
Make it better than a goal a game, Jack Bose. As the doctor gets some of the magic cream into the eye of Tommy Stewart.
Just good composure by the Cats to feed it back to a player who's got the good vision there to come into the corridor. They could have ruffled that, Cameron or Bose, and that's that hit again with Schultz and Tom Stewart.
De Koning spinning into the path of Holmes. Forward handball here for Blitz halves. Holmes will get it back. Rowan, Cameron, Dempsey all involved. In the end, Dempsey couldn't hang on. Henry couldn't hang on. And they can exit here, Collingwood.
Outside 5. Play on.
Turned himself into a really good player, Cameron. Off to Dacos, and now Moore. Noble, kick just a little strong. He's got to go back and find it on the ground. Humphrey. Lipinski. There is Dempsey. Big ball to win this one. Clark off the ground. Misses with the handball. Quainer. Ball.
McInnes on, Schultz off. Cameron.
Clark's like a mini-me of Atkins, isn't he? Similar sort of look about them out there.
He looks out on his feet at the moment as Long of Collingwood. Blitz arms. Markov will take the uncontested mark here. Wants to just drop it off a little lower than he wanted to Quainer. Markov again. Can they take meterage? At the moment they've just gone sideways. Josh Dacos, the man that likes to go forward. Good ball. Crisp. Where are Collingwood going to find the life from? Got to kick 2 goals from here. High ball on Cameron. Guthrie. Hill. This man, Elliott. Just a little nudge as he went to get it was enough to put him off.
Jai Clark is 1 centimetre taller than Atkins, so he won't be happy being called mini-me, will he?
He's a bit cleaner too than Tommy Atkins. So he's a bit more scruffy about him. Tui. Brian Wise and Maynard make sure that goes over.
Been a quietish night for Maynard tonight, isn't it?
Only the 6 touches. Normally get a little bit more rebound from him.
11 points and pensive. They've been here so many times, Collingwood, it's actually ridiculous. Dangerfield wraps up crisp. Off the ground, Holmes. Moore. Rowan with him.
Had to hold that in there more because Dempsey was right there. If that spilled out, Dempsey was off.
Dangerfield doing the ruck here with Cameron. taken away, Elliott. Rich Duncan setting up Myers. Beautifully weighted handball. Myers inside. Big job here for Frampton on Henry. Spills. Little one for Manor. Inside out. No problems. Hit the bottom of the post.
He's just telling Cameron, I was going for you. I think he was. It looked like he was.
Cameron wasn't happy though, but yeah, I think it was trying to be a pass. A little bit too much on it.
Kolodjasny to come in here. McInnes just on the ground, the sub. Tony Stewart looks good to go. Look at DeGoey. Movement around the stoppage. Floats it. Well done to the young man, Lawson Humphries, to go back. No idea if anyone was coming at him.
That was great. He was on Richards. Made the right decision to drop off him. Got to a dangerous spot.
Brian Myers. Atkins. Soaking up a bit of uncontested footy here, the Cats.
Humphries wanting to come off the bench. No one wants to come on for him.
Myers wants to go fast. He does. There's Clark. Could have gone back to Myers. Doesn't want to do that. Dangerfield! Good hands to it. Just couldn't complete the mark. Ground level ball. Close is wrapped up. And a very fast whistle.
That kick was almost perfect for Dangerfield from Clark. Just sat it in front of him to run across.
There he is, Humphries. He was desperate to get off the ground. No one wanted to replace him. They wanted to stay on.
Yeah, he cramped just after that mark, BT.
Yeah, going for the tablets. Here's Guthrie. Strategic kick into the pocket and finds Henry. Down with some pickle juice. Now, Henry from here, deciding he's going to kick it around on his left. Huge kick for a 3-goal lead. It looks damn good. He's done it. Ollie Henry, the activated sub, gives them an 18-point lead.
This is the kick into the forward 50, and Frampton was a little bit too worried about Dangerfield. Henry just comes across, gives him a little shove under, but what I like was his composure to stand there, taking a few deep breaths, think about what he was going to do. Took a couple steps, snapped it round on his left, and he made sure those Collingwood supporters kept nice and quiet in the pocket.
They look unhappy.
Equals the biggest lead of the night. Away goes to go. Elliott taken under the footy by Kolodjasny.
Tom Stewart's back on the ground as well, straight into that centre bounce.
Reckon Geordie could have kept going there.
Tui's on.
There he goes, Hodgie. Get the feeling they cannot concede from here. Collingwood. They are freaks at coming late in games, but 4 goals seems a lot. Duncan.
This week Geelong are going to be smart. They're going to take no risks. They're still going to move the ball forward, but it's going to be through that composed kick mark.
Blitzarves.
And then Blitzarves goes on his left.
And finds Dempsey with a beautiful ball. On the up here to Stengel. Rowan to fly. Cameron's there as well. Henry trying to tap it into the path of Myers, couldn't do it.
When you're asked for composed play, you don't give it to a steeplechaser. Run on his non-preferred and kick it 60 metres and hit someone on the chest.
Got it where they want it, the Cats. Collingwood fans would be absolutely holding their breath right now. Next goal for the Cats, you'd think just about wraps it up.
The Cats have got 2 sitting outside their 50, 2 spares. They want to make sure there's no transition fast pace from Collingwood.
73,435 here tonight, Maynard. That kick is not his best. See it come off, not square on the boot, and he was disappointed in himself.
So, BT, you just said that the next goal to the Cats will do it, and that number says it will. Because that'll take them out to 89 points, and 87 is the number. When they concede less than 87, look at that record, 41, 3 and 2. When they go over, they don't get the job done, the Pies, so it's crucial they kick the next one.
Blitz halves to green grass. Taken out of it is Dacos. Clark tried to sell candy and then fell over.
What's got me tonight for Collingwood? They're going at 57% by foot. There's been a lot of turnovers with Collingwood that they don't normally make. Whether it's the pressure, the occasion, or a few inexperienced players out there.
Last 7 rounds, Hodgie, they're ranked 18 for disposal efficiency. Collingwood.
And you think of Collingwood, how they got to where they did last year has been just effective ball disposal.
It just doesn't fit with their brand, doesn't. Ball back to DeGoey. What can he provide? Myers picks the pocket over the top to Close. Humphreys. How composed does this young man look? To Clark. The goal assist machine here, Grind Myers. Beautiful. To Cameron.
That's an amazing kick. I first thought he was going to Dangerfield, but he's been able to pierce that just inside the boundary line and just to the other side of 2 or 3 Collingwood defenders.
Now, Hodgie, when you watch the warm-up, he normally just drills these, doesn't he?
Yep.
Around the corner.
Aims him at that left goal post. Bends it back nicely.
Just to make it very tough for Collingwood. Just too much.
So he is good at it though, isn't he?
Oh, he's really good at it.
Lovely to watch. There's the Myers kick, just sent it under the attempted smother there. He's just such a...
Is he the best inside 50 kick? Wouldn't be far off.
Such a creative ball user around that area, Richo. So now Collingwood have got it all to do. It's a 19-point deficit with 7.5 minutes remaining. Jack Henry short to Clark. Jai Clark to Guthrie. Zach Tui. Great understanding of where the game is at, the Cats. On the lookout for a way through, but happy to soak up some time as well, but definitely haven't gone completely negative like we've seen some sides in this situation. Blitzarves bangs it inside 50. Cameron Quainer in the one-on-one. No winner there. Off hands it comes. Close was careful. Quainer mopped it up, and now Harrison takes it away.
Where does Noble go? He's looking at Kruger. And no real access to the ball in the air. So, Richo, you sense Geelong are going to be so professional in this situation. What have Collingwood got to change to turn the footy over?
Well, they can't allow those uncontested marks that we just saw. They've got to take that away totally, because you've got to win it straight back immediately, not after 7 or 8 uncontested marks.
Myers through to Dangerfield. Inside they go again. Cameron and Quainer, and that'll be a free kick to Isaac.
And when they get it here, you just got to go straight down the middle, which we know they will do because they've done it for a couple of years now. Go quickly.
Try to Noble here. Noble finds long. Looked to wheel and go, but there was nothing to go to. So Noble again. Tui to come in from the side. Henry's got to be careful here. Did it really well. Brilliantly well. 2v1. Henry got running support here from Dempsey. Handball didn't really work for him. Lipinski off the ground. Guthrie was nice and clean. Dumps it back and finds Kolajasny.
Kolajasny just careful with the footy here.
So they've got numbers behind here if they want to use them. And this is what you can't let them have now.
Tom Stewart's just going to sit back there and soak up this all day.
BT, you saw Geelong rebound another entry from Collingwood. Ash Johnson, I looked through at the Collingwood forward line. There's so many injuries to key forwards. Where's he sitting with his position with the Collingwood Football Club?
Well, he's emergency for this game, but I even feel that was forced upon them. I reckon they've dried up with him, Hodgie. I reckon they've said that's it for Ash Johnson. As you say, with so many forwards out, I know McStade could be back next week. He should have, if he was playing well enough and committed, be playing in this game today, given the situation that they find themselves in. So I think it's dried up for him.
Because a few years ago, he had the potential. You saw some of the marks that he took as a young fella leading out. Just disappointing he hasn't been able to get back to AFL level to really show his skill.
Yeah, it is. I think, I'm not 100% sure. I think that just work ethic is probably not at the level that's required, from what I understand. Stuart down the line here. Having said that, was named an emergency tonight. Dangerfield rips it away. Busts the Maynard tackle. Close was running with him. Decided to go a bit deeper to Dempsey and didn't get the length of the kick he'd hoped.
So I think the disappointing thing about that, BT, he's kicked 10 goals in his last 3 games at DFL level, so...
Yeah.
Humphries kept it in cleverly. Will he get it back? No. Yes.
So have they made the decision? That's the thing, given he didn't play tonight.
You'd almost have to say, so considering he's kicked 10 in the last 3 games, they've all key positions have been injured, or the ones that have consistently played.
They have soaked up 3.5 minutes here at Geelong. And they've done it without a lot of intensity. It's off the ground, Stengel. Out the full.
What about the game of Humphries now? He's crept up to 23. 19 kicks at 95%. 13 marks in his 3rd game from nowhere. Stephen Wells, JB, just gets them, doesn't he?
Reserves for Swan Districts in the waffle.
Wow.
Got to go hard from here now, Collingwood. Harrison. High one. De Koning in from the side. Almost was McInnes. And they can just stop this down again here, the Cats.
Bows. So the Cats will get their 11th win, and they are sitting very nicely as Dangerfield marks top 4 as a result of this game. We'll see what happens at the end of this round, but certainly, and as I mentioned before, Chris Scott's record is unbelievable. 13 completed years, 9 times they have had the double chance. There's a high possibility they will do that again. It's been sensational. 3rd position on the ladder. There's a live ladder saying now. Dangerfield with this kick. And a 20-point lead now for the Cats. Seems insurmountable.
Side bottom looking to the centre of the ground. Got to go hard now, surely. Crisp has it thumped away from him. Richards. Dacos. To Goey. Back to Richards. Worried out of it there by Rowan, and he just tumbles it forward. Stengel out the back. Not going to matter. It's right through the middle. They have been so professional. In this last 5 minutes, the Cats have not given Collingwood a look. Stengel gets his 2nd.
Trying to take it on down the middle as you have to, and Tyson Stengel, like all good forwards, he got out the back when he sensed that little turnover. Just an easy walk-in, BT.
Chris Scott there. I'll tell you what, the Scots, Craig McRae, be having nightmares about them. Brad Scott wins against him last week. Chris Scott wins this week. He's had enough of the Scott brothers over the last couple of weeks, I'd suggest. 2 minutes to go.
Former teammates too.
Yeah. And the Cats are going to go on and win game number 11 and set their season up magnificently. Collingwood, on the other hand, they've got Hawthorn and Richmond over the next 2 weeks. But what about their last 4 games? Carlton, Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne. They are now in grave danger, the Magpies, of missing any finals action. Remember, you're going to need at least 12 wins to get there as a minimum.
Nathan, Sam, back in, back this way.
That's the run home right there. Carlton, Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne. That's a brutal final month. Stewart coughs it up. Away comes Dacos. The look away to Crisp. McInnes.
That's a tough run home for at least with full strength.
Yeah.
Especially one that's got 4 or 5 of your best forwards out. A couple of defenders. Ruckman.
McInnes set shot. Late consolation for him to sub. Cameron.
Right back, 5 metres back, 5 metres back. Back to here, 2 more metres.
And the big man kicks a goal. So a late one for Cameron. Back to 20 points. Danger chats out with one of the support staff.
Cameron just too big here. Used his body well, but he's battled on. He's had 58 hit outs to 4 clearances at the 18 touches. So he's tried pretty much sole ruck against Blitzarfs and DeConing.
So just under the minute remaining here in this one. 20-point leaders, the Cats. Stewart. Been a great move getting him in the square. Atkins. Zach Tui, dynamite kick out wide to Myers. And Myers happy to take a little bit of time here. And wind it down. Chris Scott said enough. Like what he's seen, he'll be delighted that his season is back on track. They've won 3 in a row. They take on the Dogs and North Melbourne and Adelaide over the next 3 weeks. So they can really tidy their season up here. Just shows you when they win the first 7 in a row, it can really set you up if you get some difficulty in mid-year, which they did. Cats win. It's top 4 for them.
All right, folks, that's it. That is the end of the game. And, of course, the Geelong Cats get up and beat the my old team, the Magpies. But it was a little bit predicted, I thought, tonight. I did predict the Cats by 34, but the Pies gave a great side. And of course, they were just a little bit too strong in that last quarter, were Geelong. Of course, Geelong kicking 3 goals 4 in that last quarter to the Pies, just 2 goals 1. It did look like we were going to get a game here when we got to about here within the goal at the 6-minute mark of the final quarter, but it was all the Cats there. They just had every answer that the Pies threw at them in the final 24 minutes of that final quarter. Geelong are one of the teams to definitely beat this year. The second half of the season so far is on a fly. That's 3 in a row now for the Catters, and they're going fantastic. And that puts a lot of pressure on the Pies for the remaining part of the season. They're going to find it difficult now, of course, after... Let me just have a look. I was going to see if this ladder has updated. Of course, the ladder... Oh, I'm not sure if the... I was just trying to have a look at the live ladder as it sits there for the folks out there. 40... There we go. It hasn't updated just yet. But there we go. 20-point victory to the Catters tonight. We can have a little bit of a look at the players' stats there for all the good folk out there who like to follow their plays and see how they go. So there we go. Nick Dacos was the leading disposal getter on the ground for tonight with 13 kicks, 19 handballs, 1 mark, 2 tackles, 11 clearances. Did his job, but was well tagged as well. Still side bottom with 28, not a bad game. And John Noble with 28 for the Pies. Now there you go. The top 3 possession getters all come from the losing side tonight. Myers there for Geelong with 27 with Maxi Holmes. Tommy Stewart ended with 26, 20 kicks. Just run down the board there for everyone to check their players out. DeGoey on 24, Bowles on 24, Humphries 23, Josh Dacos 23, DeConing, not a bad game, a little bit quiet though. For the Catters 22, still not too bad. As we run down a little bit, Jack Henry on 16, Dempsey 16. So we slide down a little bit. Another quiet game there from the Collingwood captain with just 14 touches for the game. Will Hoskinelli, a little bit quiet after half-time, put in a good first half. There we go. Gary Rowan, quiet game there for the Catters as well with just the 10 touches, no scoring shots. Bobby Hill had a pretty ordinary game there. Whatever he did didn't work out in any situation, just with the 10 touches. Jeremy Cameron, of course, well, not too bad of a game. You know, he was well held as well with the 9 touches, 8 kicks, 1 handball, 4 marks, 4 tackles, 3 goals, 3. All right, let's go and have a look at the score. The goal scorers for the game, and it ended up with Jeremy Cameron there for the Cats. He ended up the top goal scorer with 3 goals. Tyson Stengel there for 2 goals for the Cats as well. Joe Richards for the Pies snagged 2 goals. Shannon Neal for the Cats for 2. Jamie Ellett for 2 for the Pies. And singles to side bottom Myers, Mangan, Lipinski, Will Hoskin-Elliott, Oliver Henry, Dempsey, DeGoey, Jack Crisp, Brad Close, Darcy Cameron, and Jack Bow for a single. There are your goal scorers for tonight's game. AFL fantasy points, just have a little bit of a look at that. If you follow that, Darcy Cameron there on top with the 147. Scored well there. Myers there with 116, Holmes 114, Tommy Stewart 113, Bowles 106, Humphries 105, Noble 102, Josh Dacos 102. They're the players in the 100. I'll just run down that a little bit for the folks out there. This is the column. If you're looking at the AFL fantasy points, if you play the game there, you can check your players' score out there just for a moment. There we go. All right, let's have a little bit of a look at the team stats. The team stats, there we go. Geelong definitely had more ball. As we can see, 392 disposals. That's about 40 odd above the season average. Of course, they got about 60 in front of the Pies there. The kicks well in front for the Catters. The handballs, not too much difference there. Inside 50s, of course, Geelong well on top there, 62 to 41. The efficiency, not too bad from both sides. Of course, the inside efficiency, well, the Pies were a little bit above their average. The Catters a little bit below, but just the pure dominance there of the Cats in that final quarter got them over the line. Free kicks, 14 to 15. Nothing in that. Let's have a look at the stoppages. The hit-outs, Collingwood well on top there. But the Catters take the chocolates on the clearances, 42 to 35. Centre clearances, a lot of the damage was done, and the Cats well on top there, 16 to 6. That's, well, there you go. That's a big victory there for the Cats in that. Stoppage clearances, pretty much similar. Contested possession, 120, 117, nothing much in that. Uncontested, that just means that the Cats had found the space. So there we go, uncontested, there we go, 60 above. Turnovers, a lot of turnovers in the game, 54 to 61. Let's have a look at the marks. There we go, with that uncontested possession, that shows you that the Cats had the ball. Chipping it around 145, doubling the Pies in the marks. And if you have a look here, the Cats' average marks for the season so far, 84. So they were well and truly on top. 13 to 14 marks inside 50. Both had their chances. Contested marks 7 to 6. 10 goals, 11 to 13. 13, it says a pretty tight game. Only 20 points in it. The tackles 58 to 53. Just a little bit down there on the average for both sides there. But of course, the tackles inside 50, you put a lot of the pressure on. The Cats came out on top there, well and truly. The bounces 1 to 7, Cats favour. 1%ers, the Pies did the 1%ers, but the Cats, as I said, came out well and truly on top. There we go. That is the game, folks. That is the game. We've got Geelong big victors here tonight after a thrilling game here at the MCG. The Cats by 20, 13-13, 91 to the Pies. A gallant in defeat, 10-11, 71. All right, let's have a look and see if this AFL ladder has been updated. Let's have a look. There we go. We've got the ladder, live ladder now. So the Geelong Cats now go on to third on the ladder. They go into equal second with Carlton with a percentage of 110.6. There we go. Geelong have had 11 wins for the season, 6 losses, winning their last 3 games. So Geelong third on the ladder, equal second now with Carlton. Still 2 games behind Sydney, who are leading on top of the ladder. Collingwood drop a position there tonight. They dropped down to 10th position on 36 points. They dropped a couple of percent. So they trail Melbourne now. And Collingwood's percentage at 102.9 with 8 wins, 7 losses and 2 draws for the season, losing their final 3 games. And of course, next week, it doesn't get much easier when they play Hawthorn. And of course, next week, the Catters come out against the Western Bulldogs. So the Geelong now tightened in for the premiership flag. They're into $9 for the flag, and Collingwood drift out to $21. But the favourites for the flag at the present time is the Sydney Swans at $3.50. But there is the game tonight at the MCG. We will be back. Let me just turn this back around. I'll thank everybody. There we go. Thanks everyone for coming in and watching the game tonight. The MCG, Collingwood versus Geelong. Well done to Geelong. Commiserations to Collingwood. As I said, it's going to be a tough road home for Collingwood into the second half of this season to try and make the finals as the reigning premiers. But Geelong, they did well. They're a powerhouse of a team, and I can see big things happening for the rest of the season for Geelong, and I think they're going to be one of the teams to beat come the end of this year and in the finals time. As I said, they're now on third on the ladder, equal second with Carlton, just on percentage, so that puts them into third position, whereas Collingwood dropped down to 10th, and it looks like they may struggle from this time into the rest of the year. Let me have a look at the poll results that came in. All right, so we had 34 votes on the game. Who would win this game tonight? And of course, 56% went for Collingwood, 44% went for Geelong. So those 44% had it correct with Geelong. As I said, it could have been anybody's game coming into that final quarter. We were hoping for a ring-a-ding-ding cracker game, a little bit closer. But 20 points, it was a good game. It was a good game, folks, to actually watch. It was a good game, and hopefully the commentators there made it a good game to listen to for you good folks out there. And of course, we will be back tomorrow because I think, let me just have a bit of a look. fixture. All right, so the game we'll probably cover tomorrow. The first game tomorrow will be Sydney and North Melbourne will probably be the first game we'll do this with tomorrow. So if you're interested in your footy, I might cover 3 games. If I get the chance, I'll cover 3 games like this tomorrow, which will be Sydney and North Melbourne. Then followed on by the Western Bulldogs v Carlton. And then it's a choice between 2 games. I'm not sure which one I'll cover. It'll either be Adelaide Crows versus St Kilda or Melbourne versus Essendon. I'm not sure which one of those 2 I'll cover. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask that as a question in the Footy Live tomorrow when we're on there. But thanks everyone for coming in. Appreciate that so much. I'll turn this back around so for any latecomers in, whoops. There we go. They can check out the score there for a few minutes before we head off. But while we're just sitting here, we'll just let some of the commentators just have a little bit of a wrap up on the game. Thanks everyone for coming in tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Craig McRae, at what stage did you think you would go hard one-on-one to deny these contested marks?
But they've played this system for, the best part of 3 years. That's been in the back of their success. So that's all they've really drilled in. They've never really gone to the man-on-mark situation. Tonight, I couldn't question their effort. Tonight, they lost by a big, greater margin than last week against Essendon. But it felt as if they were having a crack. It's just whether they're capable. It's whether they're capable of stopping teams now, chipping the ball around. We saw Essendon cut them apart with that uncontested mark last week when they got the game back on their terms, and Geelong did it again tonight. So that's a worry.
Okay, so who they play? Did you say Hawthorn? Was it?
Yeah,
Hawthorn next,
Hawthorn next week.
So they don't mind chipping the ball around, using the ground, taking marks.
So the interesting watch will be, do they make the adjustment or do they stay with what they know or get beaten with what has beaten them in the past 2 weeks?
Yeah. What Collingwood have been really good at is preventing the first mark. Because once you give up the first mark, then that player gets 3, 4, 5 seconds to go and use the ball and they can set up. But Collingwood have been so good at leaving for a long time, at forcing the ball into chaos as often as they possibly can, not allowing that first mark and then being able to win the contest. We saw that with the post-clearance sort of contested ball number. They'd actually done that extremely well at 3/4 time. The outside of clearance, they'd been able to outnumber, they'd won enough of that ball, but Geelong just slowly worked away at that, control game and were able to, put them to sleep.
So I'll touch on the Elliott one. So go back to the Elliott one goal. And then remember Tom Stewart, they closed out those ones. He tried to come back into Duncan. So they're the opportunities you get if you press high.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'll tell you what I'd be concerned about and a great win by Cats, and we'll celebrate and continue to do that when we talk to the players. But just at the moment with the Pies, you can't win if you're having 40, 45 inside 50s. That'd be a real concern for Craig McRae. Why is that happening? So, last year they averaged about 55 inside 50s a game. Tonight, 41.
It was either May 8th or 9th. I think it was a round 9 game was the last time they got over 50 inside 50s in a game. So it's been over 2 months since Collingwood have been able to do that. Averaged 53 last year and really were damaging, could score at will and on a whim, but that hasn't been the case.
We showed that number early. I mean, they were moving the footy early.
Still only 22 inside 50s though in the first half.
You feel like it's easy to defend when it's down in your forward line because the opposition's got to go 150 metres back to score, don't they?
They do. Hey, let's go down. The Cats went into a meeting, but Max Holmes has been good enough to whack the headset on and join us. Max, hey, congratulations. It was a gritty win. It was hot footy early, but in the end, you guys just denied on the ball, and you've had a very nice evening.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good fun out there, and we did what we wanted to do. That was kind of the way we played tonight was kind of we watched Essendon last week and saw what they did, so yeah, we kind of moulded a bit off that, and I think we got a lot of it right. As you said, it was a bit gritty, but those are the good wins, those ones, so we're all pumped here,
So Max, you come straight out of the coaches' meeting. It was pretty short and sharp. What was the key message?
We just got a little bit of a longer break this week before next week, so it's just about getting the body right, and we've had a good 3 weeks after a few bad ones previously, so I think it's just all about holding that momentum, and that's just what that meeting was about.
Well done tonight, Max. Great win. What's been the major part of the turnaround, the focus for you boys the last few weeks? You're back in form.
Yeah, well, I think early in the year we had a good connection, and for some reason we got a bit disjointed middle of the year. So I think now you're starting to see we're getting back together. We know what we're doing, and we're all kind of just bouncing off each other, which is seeing us flourish in a way. So yeah, hopefully we can continue on this form.
Maxie, one of the strengths of this side is the flexibility and positions. We've spoken pre-game about the players and their ability to move magnets, and you've been one of those players. How have you found that in season and in game, having to adjust your role to get the best football?
Yeah, it's a bit different, but I guess for most of my career so far, I've kind of been thrown around, so I don't mind half back inside. So I guess a lot of the boys here, it's all about the team, so we're just happy to go wherever the coaches think will benefit most. So yeah, at the moment, I don't mind playing anywhere. Like Stewie's playing in the midfield, as everyone knows, and he's having a ripper. Like, but he can flip back at any stage, and like, yeah, that's just what's going well in the team at the moment.
Is it hard to get him out of the midfield?
Yeah, I think he's loving himself in there. He's a bit more argy-bargy than at half-back sometimes. So I think he's
got
really
someone sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
So for you to go on, I thought you were great. Personally, your second half was really important. But for you to do that, you need to be covered in the back half, as you said. And Lawson Humphries is a young man who's played 3 games of footy, who again tonight on a big stage against the reigning premiers in front of a big crowd, looks like he's played 50 games already.
Yeah, Lawson's a super special player. I was saying earlier that when he came to the club, I've gone to Wellesley. Like, where on earth you picked this kid up? He's played 4 games of reserves waffle last year. Like, he wasn't even in the side, and he's just come in. And he's a superstar at this stage for where he's at. And I think you'll be hearing his name for a long time. He's just a fantastic player.
Yeah, Max, it's a running game, and it's a strength of yours. You've cut your teeth on the wing, into the midfield, back to half back a little bit more now. Where do you see your best football over the next 2 or 3 years?
It's hard to know. I think personally, the way I'm going, I'd like to end up as a midfielder inside, but you know, there's lots of things that change, and you know, I felt comfortable flipping back the last couple of weeks, and I felt comfortable in the midfield like 4 weeks ago. So I guess in the end, hopefully with Paddy getting a bit older, so might squeeze in there at some stage, but yeah, not too sure.
So speak about athletes. These 2 boys spoke about Neil pre-game. Then I was reading about it. He's a 400 metre, 800 metre runner. Is that right? Can you speak to what you've seen from an athletic point of view from this man?
Yeah, Scratch is very athletic, and I get annoyed sometimes. So I feel like he doesn't use it on the field as well as he can. He kills it in the time trials. He's very fit. He's very fast. He's a dangerous presence, and I think he played really well tonight. And yeah, no, he was a super athlete.
Who win a 400 out of you 2?
If he said himself, he'd be lying to himself too. I'd have him by a fair
What about Blitz? So he was supposed to be the chasing champion.
Blitz is slow as an old boot. He can run the same pace all day, but he can't run 400s.
What about Scotty? How's my old mate Scotty going? Does he prickle up before the old enemy, for a Collingwood game, before the game?
Scotty's very relaxed. I don't know if anyone really expects that of him. I've never copped a spray off Scotty, so he's been pretty relaxed this week, and I think the last couple of weeks have been a bit more relaxing than the previous 6. So yeah, no, he's been good.
And Max, it's been 18 months. Like you'll still have that chip on your shoulder, missing the premiership 18 months ago. But you've started to get a few more teammates now that weren't there for that either. So there's nearly half the side now that haven't tasted it. Is there a little bit of hunger in that you can start infiltrating through the rest of the team? You know, when it starts to get towards the pointy end.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, yeah, lots of younger players coming through at the moment, and there is a hunger. I think this season's really, really open, and it's up for the taking for about 13 teams, I'd say. So there is definitely a hunger amongst the boys, the older boys as well, younger boys, and I think it's obviously the one goal you got in the season. We're not coming here for second best, so yeah, there's definitely a large desire to get there.
Johnny Maxie, you got 6 to go. You going to get? Did your mum run in the Olympics for the Australian team?
She did, yeah. A couple, 96 and 2000. She ran 400s.
Are you getting excited for the Paris Olympics? So you get yourself immersed in that?
Yeah, no, it should be great. I got a couple of mates running this year, so shout out to Adam Spencer and Reece Holder. They're going there. Young athletes on the rise, so if anyone has a keen eye for athletics, I'd say watch them. But yeah, it should be exciting.
Good on you, mate. They'll do that and then come back and hopefully find you boys going deep into September, and you're going to have a big... Thanks for joining us and well done tonight.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Yeah.